Swami Shila Gurudeva ki, Samaveda Bhakti Brinda ki, Gora Premanande, Gora Premanande, Gora Premanande. Hare Krishna. Welcome everybody. Good to have you. Everyone still alive?
Yes.
Only the Matajis are alive. The guy's a little dull, you know. Hare Krishna. So, yes, Om Jnana Tamarandasha Gananjana Shalakaya Chakshun Militam Jena Tasmai Shri Guru Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadha Shri Vasudeva Shri Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Someone adjusted my chair. It's like a little higher. That's all right. So, everyone's awake this morning? Yes. Did you have breakfast or break head? Break head. I can understand by the non-response, the lack of pure self-realization. So, I was reading a nice lecture today from Srila Prabhupada, and many nice topics that we've been discussing is very nicely brought up in Srila Prabhupada's lecture. So it's a really nice way to actually bring everything together that we've been discussing, and especially from Srila Prabhupada's books and teachings. So my Guru Dev would say all the time, you must quote authorities. You cannot, it's not about your opinion, your feeling, your emotion, your concoction, your speculation. That's not scientific. If you hear perfect knowledge from perfect source, and we hear it perfectly by their mercy, then Prabhupada said, then your knowledge will also be perfect. And that is what is to be heard, and that is what is to be spoken. That is our only reason for coming together, is just to hear that particular topic. And nowhere else really is anyone talking specifically on that topic. So this discussion is about, probably the most important aspect of spiritual life is association with devotees, sadhu, guru, Vaishnavas, and to do that shravanam, hearing from them. Prabhupada said the whole point of ISKCON, the mission statement of ISKCON, is quoting Mahaprabhu that, okay, wherever you are in Daivivan Ashram system, that's all right, Hare Krishna, but everybody, regardless of your position in the society, everybody can come and hear and chant about Krishna and take Krishna Prasadam. So it's a very simplified but powerful process. And even though it's so simplified and it's so powerful, we're so dull. We're doubting it, we're not putting full faith in it, we're not executing it in a very serious way. So therefore we're not getting sufficient results, and then we're not getting nice results, and then we're blaming the process. We're not blaming ourselves. No matter what is happening, right, we should take a personal responsibility. Krishna says, as you surrender unto me, then I reward you accordingly. So if we're not getting nice reward, it means there's a problem with the quality and the quantity of our surrender. That's all it basically comes down to. So we can read from Srila Prabhupada's lecture today, and we can talk about some of these points, very important points. Srila Prabhupada is speaking in Bombay on Srimad Bhagavatam, 3:25-20 verse. He's asking his disciple Nitai to give the translation. And from third canto, Srimad Bhagavatam, Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki. It says that every learned person knows very well that attachment for the material is the greatest entanglement of the spirit soul. But the same attachment, when applied to the self-realized devotees of the Lord, that opens the door of liberation. So Srila Prabhupada in his purport, he said that the soul, you cannot kill attachment. Attachment is the very nature of the soul, and only it has to be purified and spiritualized by association with Krishna's devotees, from hearing from Sadhu Guru Vaishnava. Prabhupada said that even someone who doesn't have children, they'll go out and get a dog or a cat. They'll get some animal or something, right? Because they want to show some love and affection, and they want to feel some love and affection back. And I'm not really a big dog person, but many people, they really love their dog. And sometimes they say, I love my dog more than the people, right? Because like a faithful friend, like real friend, right? And Bhagavatam also says like that this is like a dog is showing, right, how to be real loyal friend. And practically in the material world, you cannot really find such human beings that are so trustworthy and so loyal. So all of these qualities, really now in Kali Yuga, it's really not there. There's no real trustworthiness. There's no real loyalty. Everybody just jumping one place to another just to get something. So there's no nice quality here. Everything just degrading. So when you have to associate with a dog, and you're saying the dog's qualities are better than the human beings in your life, that's a problem. So everybody has attachment, and we've been seeing and hearing and demonstrating on a nightly basis the power of that attachments, especially in India with this family. Prabhupada calls it organized, family attachment. So this attachment is especially strong on the eastern side. In India, China, this bodily family attachment is very, very deep-rooted. Practically all of your DNA is basically intertwined. So it's just intertwining DNA. That much attachment is there on biological platform and on mental platform. Right, so we're all combining our DNA, and we're all combining. It's a mind meld, where all of our minds just melting into one particular spot. Then we're saying this is our family attachment. So wherever we have our love and affection, of course, that's where our mind and our attention and our desires will be focused. So if we are fortunate enough, purified enough, intelligent enough to realize that this entanglement on bodily platform is the greatest enemy of a soul who knows the value of the human form of life, to purify oneself, one's consciousness, and then become delivered. Moksha, the real moksha is bhakti, right? That's Sanatan Dharma. So in India, we didn't know in America what is Dharma. When we came to India, everybody's saying, that is my Dharma. But the real Dharma means bhakti. That's a Sanatan Dharma, means bhakti. Otherwise, what is the Dharma? The so-called religiosity. So this is all Kaitava Dharma. It's not the real Dharma. And it's all, Prabhupada says, for some selfish purpose, for yourself and your family. And it's all based on sense gratification, personally and collectively. And Prabhupada said all that sense gratification, all that selfishness is all sinful. If it's not, whatever we're thinking or doing, acting, saying, if it's not for the pleasure of the Lord, then it's sinful activity. And of course, more or less. But it's either Krishna or Maya. It's very simple. So you can try to call it pious because you go to the demigods to help you with your sense gratification, but you're just getting some vanchana, you're getting cheated because we don't want the real thing. So most people in this world, they don't want the real thing. Even they come for some religious practice, right? They don't want to be told what to do. They don't want to hear about absolute truth. They want everyone to feel like you have a mind, you have intelligence, right? You have a power of speculation or, philosophical research. So it's up to everybody on their own to just somehow or other try to understand what is God, who is God, by our own way, our own process, all just speculating endlessly. And it's all just in variations of Maya, because all that control of that material speculation is governed by the control of the mind, intelligence, and senses from Maya. So it's just different variations of cheating, different variations of so-called religion. It's all Kaitava, it's all Kaitava Dharma. Only Sanatan Dharma, Bhakti, that is the real religion. And so that love, surrender, love for Krishna, love for God, that is the point of religion. In Christianity, we raised as Christian, we asked all the priests, well, who is God? And they cannot say who is God. So if the religion is to love God, how can you love something or someone that you don't know? And so it's nonsensical. Yes, we're trying to develop love for God, but we have no idea who and what is God. Prabhupada chastising all of these scholars, PhD scholars in America, saying you all have doctorates of religion, you're all teaching in the university, and you all have your tenure in all these big university, and you're giving, classes, lectures on religion, and Prabhupada directly challenging them, but do you know God? And they're all like stunned because Prabhupada directly, confronting them and challenging how you're saying you're a doctor of religion and you have no idea who and what is God. And then Prabhupada said, then I'm telling you who is God. I'm telling you who is Bhagavan. That Krishna is Bhagavan. Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead. And then you're not accepting that either. So you don't know. You're all speculating. You're saying you have doctorate in religion and you don't even know who and what is God. It means you have no connection with God. So what is the point of your lecturing about the religion? So all of those lectures, all of this all based on some type of cheating, or some type of mental speculation. So real religion, real religious principles, that's coming from Krishna himself. That's coming from God himself, who said, by all the Vedas I am to be known. I'm the compiler of all of the Vedas, all of the Vedanta. That's coming from Supreme Personality of Godhead. It's not a materialistic person speculating and just coming up with some kind of concoction of what is religion or what is spirituality. So many great, recently I saw some really smart people who can analyze history, and most of their analysis coming from in and around the time of Jesus Christ and the Roman Empire, and this type of influx of Christianity into Europe. So they're starting history from that point of view. And they're very knowledgeable. They're going into great detail, emperors' names, kings' names, their sons' names, how and what they were preaching, great specificity. But they never mention about Vedic culture. And this was very mind-boggling to me, that nobody refers to Vedic culture. So Sanskrit, even they know it's the oldest language known to man, spoken language, and of course that's the language of the gods, right, they say. That's what they're speaking in the Vaikuntha. So it's original civilization, advanced civilization in the world. And then everyone who was not following this Sanatan Dharma, not following Vedic culture, some type of deviation, they were thrown out of Bharatavash, they were thrown out of India. So the rest of the world got those personalities who were literally driven out of India because of some type of deviation. And so all of those personalities and all of their deviations, that is what is spread throughout the rest of the world in all of its different facets. So all the source of everything else, historically, philosophically, spiritually, is all based on personalities who were disqualified from Vedic culture. And so it's amazing to me that they have no understanding about the Vedic culture and about the Vedas. So I'm very much trying to understand, asking Krishna, how such a civilization, so vast, information and knowledge, and so advanced culture on every platform, how can this just be forgotten in the world? Then I ask him this question, I Google search this question. What is the reason why Vedic culture seems like it's forgotten or that it's not presented in any discussions about, civilizations or history or religion. So this is very mind-boggling to me. Then as I started to a little bit research, understand it, to try to understand it in a deeper way, then I could see as the age, welcome my friend, Hare Krishna, the politician has returned. He wants to be Rajarshi. Rajarshi means a spiritual politician, not just ordinary politician. So we see as the age is getting more and more degraded, the more degradation, the more those Rajarshis are forced to bring these people either out of their body or out of the country because they are a threat to the religious principles and a threat to those people who are trying to execute the spiritual life according to Ashram system. So as this is degrading, getting closer and closer and closer, then you see in the history how because of a spiritual weakness, you see every problem that comes ultimately is because of some spiritual weakness, some deficiency where the Lord is not protecting, the demigods are not protecting, right? So the whole system is breaking down, and therefore easily you can be invaded. You see, if Krishna is protecting you, right, nobody's invading you, right? All of the incarnations of Krishna, all of them appeared in India and Bhartavash, right? All great saints, sadhus, Premi Bhaktas, they also came to Bhartavash, right? Am I saying Bhartavash? Some people say India. Now that's also changing, thank God. So, what was my last one? Who's listening? Anybody?
Deviations as it gets further away from the
degradation of Vedic culture. Why they don't know about Vedic culture?
Yes. That's like a couple steps back. I think I was talking about that. Huh?
Incarnations in India.
Yeah. So the importance of Bhartavash. It's not to get you puffed up. Okay, if you happen to be born in India, don't get puffed up. It's still Kalau Shudra Sambhava. Don't ever forget that, right? Whoever's born in the Kali Yuga, Shudra or less, right? So we just have to qualify that so you don't get carried away. Right? We don't want you to get too puffed up. Only thing we should, like my Guru Devi said, why don't you become real Das? Stop pretending that you're a Das. So in that sense, we can say, yes, I have such great opportunity. Let's take advantage of that. But over time, then all these different countries, right? All Muslim took over, how many years was that? 600 years? Right, 600 years, they invaded, took over India, right? And then you had, of course, the British Empire, right? So every time there's an invasion, right? If the Rajarshis are there, everyone's following Ashram system, under the protection of the Lord and the Lord's devotees, there's no invasion. And when Krishna comes and manifests even in Kurukshetra, right, devotees always win because Krishna wants to protect his devotees and maintain religious principles. So when these British people, they're big demons, really, really big demons. They, anywhere they go, they divide and conquer. So they immediately come in, they start brainwashing you that you're like Aborigines, you're like all tribal people, you're less than human, you're not civilized people, right? We have to preach Christianity, to the Indians, and then all of that psychological manipulation for so many centuries, how much that degrades the faith and the confidence and the understanding and the history of the people, even separated from their own history and culture and teachings and language. And so it's a systematic breakdown of the psyche of the people, where they start to even hate and even reject even the basis of their own heritage. And so then even if someone's trying to be religious or spiritual, then those people are all a bunch of speculators, and then they're just twisting and changing the Vedas for their own purpose, for their own kind of criminal or demoniac purpose. So therefore the true meaning of the Vedic, point or conclusion is lost. That's why Krishna says, apparently over the due course of time, that knowledge has been lost. And so when that is lost and the protection of the Lord is not there, and everyone is then deviated in some variation of Maya or ignorance, then all of this thing becomes hidden. So who is to push out that information to the rest of the world when the people, even within the country, don't even have faith and understanding of what that really is? We have a nationalistic understanding, right? But every person in every country has some kind of a nationalistic, attachment, right, to the motherland. But that should not be the basis of why we're, accepting, the importance of Vedic culture. And then you say Vedic culture is non-different from Krishna culture. So if we're not cultivating Krishna consciousness, then we're also not actually participating in Vedic culture. We're just labeling, yes, we're part of Vedic culture. And then when you ask, okay, well, what actually is Vedic culture? And what is the philosophical and the spiritual background of that? Hardly anybody really can explain that. And so there's so much confusion. And when I came to India, everyone you talked to had a different understanding about religion, about the spiritual life, about the, who is God. It became very, very complex once we came to India, because there's so many variations. And these variations are going on since time immemorial. These are not like some new, last couple 100-year variations. So this is very amazing to me that it says that those persons from Bharatavash, they're supposed to make their life perfect by executing these instructions according to Guru Sadhana Shastra, according to Krishna's instructions. And then once they make their life perfect, then they should leave Bharatavash and go to other territories, other countries, in order to deliver that information and those solutions, spiritual solutions, which solve spiritual and material, all the difficulties of the human form of life. So, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Srila Prabhupada, these Vaishnava Acharyas, they understand that, yes, Mahaprabhu and the 6 Goswamis, they were preaching just within India. So this is meant to be spread outside of India. But if they're not personalities who are so qualified, they can't even practice it within India. What to speak of making the life perfect, and then what to speak of making it a priority to leave India, to leave Bharatavash, to try to go and try to liberate other suffering souls in the material world, who are even further away from this information. Anyway, that was, sometimes I get distracted, But I was just amazed that, how can such information and history and culture, and then that whatever little positive thing or intelligent thing or organized thing, or like, wow, they even had like bathrooms and like they're just like, they're so proud of themselves, right? And there's like no explanation or description about the reality of Vedic culture, which goes back since time immemorial. So isn't it amazing how all these scholars are discussing all of this thing, and they literally like have no understanding about the Vedic culture. And it's almost like, before you know, the Roman Empire and Christianity, right? It's almost like everyone was a caveman before that, right? So we were all like monkeys, or we were, you know, Darwin's theory, right? We're just still like, we just got onto our feet from the 4 legs, right? So it's almost like before Christianity, right? That it was just like, that's when Darwin's theory kicks in, that we were all just a bunch of animals or cavemen. And then somehow or other, you know, Aristotle and Plato, you know, they discovered that, wow, we can be intelligent. So this is a mind-boggling, and how all of this is like, it's nobody really talking about it. And these are the best scholars, the best historians. They can give their photographic memories, they can understand all of the details, and they have no access, even from a material point of view, about understanding or discussing about Vedic culture. This is not to puff you up, all right? It's just a fact, right? It's just a fact. So my father, when we became devotee, we tried to become devotee, my father said, well, why don't you just become a Christian priest? And I said, Father, like I tried to do that, you know, but it's just not really working, you know? Well, why you have to leave your culture? Why do you have to go to some other culture? And I said, I'm actually just chasing what is absolute truth, who and what is God. Only later I found out, oh, it's a different culture and a different dress, and you know, that came secondarily. The main thing is who and what is God, how we as a servant of God can understand what is our duty, what is our responsibility, what is our service to God. Only then later we found out, oh, this is part of Vedic culture, right? And this is the way that they speak and dress, and oh, here's the history of the Vedic culture. But that wasn't the primary reason why we came. Once we accepted Krishna, then we accepted Vedic culture. The only Vedic culture I knew was Gandhi, right? No one in my town was Indian, right? I didn't read or study or listen to any other thing except Gandhi. So Gandhi was like my guru. He was my first Indian guru. And I liked Gandhi a lot. I studied everything from his books and teachings, autobiography. I had books on his sayings. My mother gave me books or pictures of India with you know, sayings of Gandhi, and then Srimad Bhagavatam. That's all I know about the Vedic culture when I came to India. So, wow, I'm really distracted today, huh? So, this talking about attachment, you cannot kill attachment. It's either going to be materially attached, or it's going to be spiritually attached. And it's a question of liking and love and affection. Because we like and we have love and affection for our family and our friends, then we're attached there. And that attachment is very, very deep-rooted. We can't practically do any other thing because all we're doing is considering, how will this affect my mother? How will this affect my family? How will this affect my father, my children, my husband, my wife, my grandparents, my friends, my colleagues? So we're making all of this consideration first before we're just accepting what is the instruction to actually advance seriously in our spiritual life. So this is a very deep-rooted problem, and we're not even conscious enough to realize it. All of this instruction is for those people who want to be liberated from all of that. We're not even desiring to be liberated from it because we don't even realize the depth of our entanglement and our attachment and what a disqualification that is for us in the spiritual life. So when you're fed up with material life, material attachment, sinful desires, sinful reactions, sinful activities, when we're fed up with all of that, then you will look for moksha. Then you want to get liberated from all things material. We're not fed up with all of those things. We're heavily attached, entangled. We're liking it, we're loving it. Our prejudice is there, our attachment is there. And we don't think we have a problem. So then where's our question of seeking moksha or getting purified and liberating the soul? So Prabhupada said material disease is this family attachment and this bodily conception of life. So that attachment, even when you get married, right, in Vedic culture, don't they tie a knot? Right? They tie a knot, right? And every once in a while, like every day, your family will remind you about that knot. Right? Just so you don't forget. We have a knot. Right? So we're sharing DNA. We're sharing the mind meld. We're fine-tuning our collective material desires and plans as one unit. And we're completely, that's all we can see and hear and think about. This attachment is so deep-rooted problem. And Prabhupada said this bodily consciousness is material desire, material consciousness, materialistic relationship. This is the greatest entanglement of the spirit soul. But the same attachment, when applied to associating and hearing from Sadhu Guru Vaishnavas, self-realized devotees, that will purify you and open the door of liberation. Prabhupada quotes from Srimad Bhagavatam, Prasangam Ajaram Pasham Atmana Kabayo Vidhu Saeva Sadhushu Krito Moksha Doram Apavritam. Prabhupada said this is the definition of our Krishna consciousness movement. Consciousness is there, the living being means there must be consciousness. Prabhupada's trying to talk and some child is too loud in the background. And Prabhupada stops and says, take that girl away. So those who get mad at me when there's some distraction, and I say just go some other place, this is why. Because you cannot focus on the topic. Right? We're already distracted, isn't it? We're already overwhelmed with so many problems and so many thoughts and so many desires and so much plans. They're very difficult to focus and listen to these instructions. Prabhupada said because of this asatsanga, this material association, the consciousness has become completely muddy and contaminated, covered over on account of this intermingling with these modes of material nature. And because of that, asatsanga, hearing that material sound vibration, this is all contaminating the consciousness, making us forget about the soul, forgetting about God, forgetting about Sanatana Dharma. Then we become more and more entangled in this samsara, the cycle of birth and death. Mahaprabhu says in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Sadhu Sangha, Sava Shastraikoi, Lavamata, Sadhu Sangha, Sava Siddhi Hoy. A Sadhu Sangha, here it is being recommended, association. And Prabhupada said association, that means hearing from Sadhu Guru Vaishnavas. And what is to be heard? Krishna Parampara, Guru Sadhu Shastra. That's the only thing to be heard. Nothing added, nothing subtracted. That exacting science, that is the topic. Everything else but that topic and that discussion in that association is asatsanga and under Maya's control. That will contaminate you, degrade you. Other will purify and liberate you. So, where is our attachment? What is our association? What is the basis of our discussions? What are the topics? What are we focusing on in those associations? That's the most important thing. Prabhupada said if you associate with businessmen, so many associations are there for developing in the business capacity, stock market, this market, that market, market association. There's so many clubs and markets. Then they're talking about the business. If you have other clubs and the bars and all of this thing, then you're all talking about all the drunkards are there, talking about their topics, right? So there's so many associations, and in those associations, they're talking about very specific things according to what is their attachment, habit, like-mindedness. One of those associations in that katha, the asatsanga, will contaminate you and degrade you, and will just be a cause of bondage in this karma bandhana. Other association with the sadhu sangha, association with devotees, Vaishnavas, that if they're talking about this particular topic and it's authorized, empowered, and that is our desire, that will purify our consciousness by the mercy of Guru Krishna. And as we become more and more purified or Krishna-ized, our intelligence, mind, and senses, then automatically we'll become more and more liberated. You like this topic? Not many people talking about this thing. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Sangat Sanjayate Kama. So while thinking about, contemplating objects of the sense gratification, how we'll enjoy, the person develops attachment for them. So thinking, then feeling, then willing. So thinking, what does that mean? Then feeling it, then strengthening the desire, and then how do you execute it? How do you activate it? Thinking, feeling, willing. So while thinking about it, contemplating it, you develop attachment for it. That attachment, you'll develop lust and greed for that thing. And then from that lust and that greed, anger arises. Do you have anger? Any anger? Sometimes? Yeah, I think so. So similarly, if you transfer the association to a sadhu, and you hear about this topic, then moksha dwaram apavritam. Then this will purify you, because discussing about Krishna, chanting Hare Krishna, by Krishna's mercy, he'll purify our consciousness. And then this will open up the door of liberation. Prabhupada said everything is based on desire. The only thing a soul can do is desire. If we do asatsanga, we hear about material topics, and material desires will just increase by that association. If we associate with Sadhu Guru Vaishnavas and we hear this topic about Krishna, Krishna consciousness, then the interest and the desire for spiritual life will be kindled, will be increased. So association, whether materially or spiritually, directly affects our desires and the strength of our desires, either materially or spiritually. If you associate in materialistic relationships with materialistic persons who are not interested in spiritual life, you will become contaminated and degraded, and this bondage becomes tighter and tighter and tighter in this karma bandhana. If you associate with Sadhu Guru Vaishnava, you hear Hari-katha, Krishna-katha, this will purify your consciousness, cleanse your consciousness, and remind us that we are servant of Krishna, not the servant of Maya. Then our determination and desire for becoming real servant, real das, real dasi, that will become more intensified. More spiritual desire will develop because of association. So that's why our friend from Kolkata, that's why you want to come, because you want to be devotee, but you're surrounded by people who are not devotee. And you may like them, and you may respect them, and okay, all of that is fine. But it's holding us back spiritually, because everybody has some expectation, some demand. It takes so much time, so much energy, so much distraction. And then if you don't give it to them, then they become disturbed, and now they're angry, and then it's just like a constant, unsettling, non-peaceful environment, because it's a heaven and hell difference between what are we actually trying to cultivate. They're not interested for spiritual life. So in order to practice spiritual life, Prabhupada says the first and most important thing is to associate with devotees of Krishna. And not just anyone who's saying, everyone in India says, yes, Krishna's God, I'm devotee of Krishna, I love Krishna. But it means really, who dedicating their life, trying to surrender to Krishna, trying to purify their consciousness existence, trying to sincerely, seriously surrender and serve Krishna and Krishna's devotees. That's a satsanga, sadhu sangha. So if we associate with like-minded persons who are talking about the topics that we like, and that is benefiting us so that we can cultivate the strength of our spiritual desire, this will be a natural situation for those who want to be devoted. So Prabhupada said, if you want to practice or advance in your spiritual life, the first most important thing is you have to associate with devotees, with Krishna bhaktas, because they're going to hear and chant about Krishna. Prabhupada's whole program: come to the temple, move in the temple, get up in the morning, go to Mangalarti, chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, go to Srimad Bhagavatam, hear about Krishna, Krishna-katha, Hari-katha, go out on the street, chant Hare Krishna in Harinam, Sankirtan, distribute books, tell everybody about Krishna, bring everyone back to the temple, give them prasadam, try to purify ours and their consciousness, let them take a darshan of the deities, let them hear Guru Arti, let them hear Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, right? The Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya means as much as possible. Prabhupada's whole program is based on hearing and chanting. So if we do not follow that instruction, we don't sufficiently and properly hear and chant, we cannot even purify our consciousness. We cannot be reminded that we are servants of Guru and Krishna. We're meant to serve in Guru and Krishna samsara, not the Maya samsara. Without purified consciousness, we won't be reminded of what is our real duty, what is the real Sanatan Dharma. Without nice consciousness, purified consciousness, we'll do man-made Dharma, a Kaitava Dharma. We'll just serve within the selfish interests of the family, the nation, the community, like this. So that general instruction for proper and sufficient hearing and chanting in the association of devotees is most essential. And that's why Mahaprabhu just stressed on that point, that regardless if you're educated, not educated, rich or poor, married or not married, young or old, man or woman, whatever the differences are there, it doesn't matter. Everybody come, Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya, do sadhu sangha, associate with devotees, hear this topic to try to purify your heart and your consciousness as the main duty and responsibility for those who are serious in the spiritual life. Mahaprabhu said, if you're serious, you'll give up all of this material attachments, material relationships, all of this asatsanga, and you'll make devotees of Krishna. And Sadhu Guru Vaishnava, make that relationship, make that attachment to those personalities to discuss this topic. If we don't do like that, we're not really serious about a spiritual life. Mahaprabhu says like this. So asatsanga, tyaga, must give up asatsanga, and instead sadhu sangha, sadhu sangha, sadhu sangha, 3 times, emphasizing the importance of that association. And association doesn't mean just hanging around together. It means, association means hearing this topic, So when we get to with devotees, we want to try to hear nice topic. This will purify our consciousness and remind, oh yes, I'm servant of Krishna. I'm serving in Guru Krishna Samsara. Without sufficient hearing and chanting, then we think, oh, I am just Mr. and Miss or Mr. So-and-so or Mrs. So-and-so. We just think we're the body. Then we have materialistic desires, materialistic attachments, materialistic plans, right? So this is the duality, which is dependent upon the consciousness, association, consciousness, purifying and liberating, contaminating or degrading. One is bringing to the soul platform and service to Guru and Krishna. Other associations cultivating material attachment, material desire, leaving us down in low consciousness and bodily concept of life. And then we're just basically karma bandhana. We're in the cycle, degraded cycle of action, reaction, sin, sinful reaction under these modes of material nature. Am I talking too fast? A lot of information. So who wants to give up this asatsanga? Not many people, right? That's because it's a very, very deep-rooted problem. And so if the guru is just, flattering you and just telling stories and never confronting that this is the root of the problem that has to be basically uprooted, and one has to get purified and free from this material bodily concept of life and these materialistic relationships. You see? This is the point. We need to hear that topic. And woman, man, everybody should want to hear that topic if we're serious about spiritual life. It's not this is just for the men. This is for every soul who wants to purify their consciousness and elevate their consciousness, become liberated, and ultimately become really nice devotee of Radha and Krishna. Krishna says that in Bhagavad Gita 2:44 that if you're in your mind, if you are too much attached to the body and bodily relations, and you're too much attached to all of this sense gratification, sense enjoyment, and material opulence, if you're so much bewildered and distracted by all of those things, your resolute determination and faith to practice devotional service, it does not take place. So if the whole point is how do we develop strong spiritual desire, faith, how do we overcome material attachment and all of the doubts which are binding us in material life, material consciousness, if we don't try to get free from such thing, then we cannot actually understand or practice devotional service properly. That's why there's so much hesitation, so much weakness, so much foolishness, so much distraction, because of this material consciousness and material attachment. So the guru who just flatters you for pranam, pranami, pratishta, they'll not talk like that. They don't want to disturb you, your family, your sense gratification. Just worship me, give me some money, praise me. Then everything will be nice. It's not really guru. It's a guru. Guru. There's a lagu. Lagu. Guru means heavy. This knowledge is heavy because it's cutting the attachment. It's cutting the bodily consciousness and it's cutting the attachment to bodily relations. Right? So now the guru's inside, he's trying to separate your DNA from the other person's DNA. Your mind from their mind. This is very delicate work. That's why chopping technique is most effective. Because it's very, very deep-rooted problem. So if we cooperate, it's very nice, very quick. But because of attachment, And because we're busy in the material bodily concept and bodily relations, trying to pacify and please everyone in your material life, you got no time. You got no time for this. So we've been having nice discussions, right? Some of our friends are saying, you know, Grandpa's toe, and everybody's calling me. They're leaving me hundreds of messages. They want to know. His family's calling in the SWAT team to rescue him from the ashram, right? They're ready to take us to court. He had to sign a contract with his family, right, to come here. Right? What grown man signs a contract with your mother and father that I promise to come back after this festival? That's mind-blowing to me. I can't imagine sitting down with my father and saying, okay, you have to sign this contract. It's like, well, what if I break this contract? What, are we going to take me to the court? You're going to sue me? You're going to lock me up? Throw me in the jail? What is this contract? He's so foolish guy, he doesn't even know. He's like, I got to sign the contract. I got to go back. Otherwise, I'll break that contract. And I'm like, well, what happens if you break the contract? What's your father going to do? Is he going to kill you? Is he going to, you know, get a lawyer and lock you up and throw you in the jail? This is absurd, isn't it? But it's a nice demonstration, right, of the reality of that situation, right? We always joke how, you know, Indian mother, right? She's like having a heart attack and she's rolling on the street, right? Like my son and my daughter, you know, I'll kill myself. Right? They just do such an unbelievable drama, isn't it? And then everybody's like shaking, mother will kill herself if I don't come back and satisfy all of her sinful desires. She's ready to like tell the demigods to attack me. She's gonna curse me. Now I'm like fearful, like my whole material life will be destroyed because the demigods, she's doing pujaro back there, you know? And because, you know, they have faith in the demigods, it's like maybe the demigods will listen, like Krishna-katha, you know? Yes, Lord Shiva, I have one desire, you know? Let me crack his head and bring him back there. So this is very, very deep-rooted problem, isn't it? So that's why special mercy from Krishna is required. Krishna has to break it somehow or other. And so if Krishna does not empower Guru, and he doesn't speak in such a way to shake you, to jolt you, to shock you, to be able to consider what's holding you back in your spiritual life, and then how to get the strength and intelligence and understanding how to overcome it. If we're not willing to understand and to do that, it means we're not really serious about the spiritual life. Then our association and discussion, it just goes in one ear and it goes out the other ear. We'll not take it seriously. This is the problem. Prabhupada says there, Krishna consciousness movement is the most important movement for the uplift of the human society. But they do not take it seriously. Why do they not take it seriously? Because of this attachment to material sense gratification and the association with satsanga. And they have been taught, they have been programmed from the beginning. The material civilization is simply teaching people how to maximize and enjoy your life by sense gratification. Work hard, get a good education, right? Get a good job, make a lot of money, and just buy all of these things, right? And everyone just enjoys the sense gratification, and then everyone will think how great we are, how wonderful family we are, right? Because they see how much good karma we have, so that must mean we are also very great pious people. So grossly, subtly, we can enjoy like anything. Money, 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 brighter than the sunshine, sweeter than the honey. So everybody running after that. What is it? Atha Kama, right? No Dharma, no Mukti, no Bhakti. It's supposed to be Dharma, Atha, Kama, Moksha, and Bhakti. Purushartha. That means goals. So what is everybody's goal? Right? There's only 5 available Purusharthas. So which one are you chasing? Dharma? Money? Sense gratification? Moksha? Or Bhakti? So how do you classify your goals and your desires? It has to fit within one of those 5 categories. So predominantly, mostly in Kali Yuga, Prabhupada says only Atha, Kama. Get some money, enjoy sense gratification. That's why they're pushing so heavily for education. And it's always education for the highest paying job, right? So everybody has to be in India, you have to be an engineer, right? Or you need an MBA, you need to be a business magnate. Or you have to be a doctor, right? And then the daughter, son is saying, but I want to be a poet. And then the family's like, impossible. So you have someone who wants to be a poet, right, studying mechanical engineering. And the parents are like beating them over the head to study it, right? They have zero interest in the topic. We need money. I paid for your education. Learn mechanical engineering. Right? So you can't get any job. You need like the best job, the best money, because then we can all enjoy like anything. That's all that's really going on here, isn't it? And now all these big guys over from India, over in America, right? They're all coming back home, right? Because there's no jobs over there now. Or they say, why we should pay them big money to sit over here? They can sit in their house and do that computer engineering stuff, right? We'll give him Indian wages sitting in India. He can work at his house. Why we have to house him and we have to bring him over here? We have to go through so much trouble with the visa, and right then we have to pay U.S. currency for the wages. So for a long time, they were taking advantage over there. Now they said, no, now you go back to India. Oh, and by the way, we don't need 80% of you. So now you're sitting over here, right, getting Indian wages, and then you go for a job interview here, right, and there's 10,000 people, 5,000 people. Yeah, I'm competing against 5,000 people for that one job that's available. And then you get the job, and then they work you day and night, 7 days a week, 20 hours a day. Right? And then they basically they have a gun to your head. Because if you don't like it, we have 4,999 other people who will take that job in a heartbeat. So now you have to sell your soul to these people who hate you and are exploiting you. And then you're running morning, noon, and night, 7 days a week, right? You have no time. And then the children are saying, I need a new iPhone. I need a bigger car. I need a bigger house. It's just endless desires. So father just running, mothers also now mother, father, all have to work. Before, in old days, the woman didn't have to work. Then they're forced now because you cannot afford to live anymore. So now the kids have no supervision, no training. They call in America latchkey, right? So the little kid, he has a key on his neck. So after school, he can get into the house by himself, with no supervision, no mother, no father. So then how are these kids going to be trained properly? Then they get online and do computer games, and then they're completely brainwashed by this. You can't get the controller out of their hand. They're ready to kill you. They start shaking if you try to take the game controller out of their hand. Isn't it? Am I making this up? This is advancement of the modern civilization. And now you see all this technology everybody's so proud about. Now we're on the brink of a nuclear war, World War III. All of the market, financial market, everything ready to completely crash. So how much did we really advance? And then nobody has any time to even think about spiritual life. Even if they had an interest in it. They're so busy, overly worked, and underpaid. They are literally controlled morning, noon, and night by this matrix of material sense gratification, isn't it? So at the same time, you're working to make money, all of the social media and all of this communication and technology is increasing your family members' desire for more. So while you're working to make enough money to provide everything, they're all at home thinking more. Like, I want it, like it, I want it. Yes. Then the father, mother come home, how are you children? Not happy. Why not happy? I want more, better, newer. They're never satisfied. And you're like, we can't really afford that. They say, well, you can get another job. You have Sunday off. So if you really loved me, you would work on your day off. It's a sad commentary, isn't it? And then India's all following Western so-called civilization. That's what they're doing there. And everybody just running, chasing after the same thing. So this is all serious problem. And then nobody understands it really. No one really has any solution to it. No one's trying to get out of it. Everybody, what to do, right? In India, what to do, right? You just have to go with the flow. Prabhupada said even in the Western countries, so many things they're making. Even for shaving, they need a machine. So that means they're so lazy, they even don't want to ply the razor blade. It's got to such a point, even they don't want to use a razor blade, you know. They need a machine for that. Prabhupada said they don't even want to move their hand. Not to move the hand, you see, just some machine. So this is advancement of the modern civilization. To help you how to more easily enjoy your senses, and more and more and more and more and more. So we grew up in America. We grew up with unlimited amount of sense gratification. We already got education, got job, got money, got all of this materialistic thing. And at the end, we were completely miserable. Uncontrolled mind and senses can never fulfill desires for material sense gratification. No peace, no happiness, no satisfaction, no joy. Just heavy, heavy lashes, heavy, heavy reactions, sinful reactions. So we're just completely fed up. That's why we came to India. That's why we came to practice spiritual life. And then to come over here and then everyone's doing what we already rejected. It's like, okay, they'll find out soon enough. We also believed all of that. Get a good education, get a good job, right? Make a good money, buy a bunch of stuff, and then enjoy your senses to the maximum degree possible. My Gurudev used to say, what was it? Drink,
dance, and dine.
Yeah, drink, dance, and dine. Liquor, 24 hours a day. Ooh. So it's just a one big party. At some point, the party's gonna be over, isn't it? In France, right, they like to party there, right? They want to stay up all night, do all kinds of nonsense. But one day come, the party's over, isn't it? And then you have to surrender to Krishna. So someone asked my Gurudev, why is it in India, the Indian birth, they have such a wonderful spiritual opportunity, then why are they not so serious about spiritual life? And they're asking Gurudev this question. He said, you see, right now, they're bewildered by the technology. They're thinking everything is about the technology. And so they're going mad after that, like following in this Western mentality. But after the World War III, and when they're riding on bullock carts, they'll all be telling each other, this is what our technology did to us. And when they're on the bullock carts, and they realize what technology did to the country and the world, then they'll become very serious for spiritual life. Because now nothing else is there. Right now, heavily destructive, isn't it? Just running, chasing, disturbed, attached to all of this other thing. That means it has to come crashing down, and then nothing is there, and the very thing that we're actually pursuing is the very cause of our suffering condition. Now this will uproot the strength of that attachment and desire. Are we ready for the bullock cart? It's coming. Now every night, right? Putin says he's going to drop nuclear bombs. Now every day. Russia moved nuclear weapons into Belarus. They gave tactical nukes to Lukashenko. Is that his name? Yes, NATO wants to put the nuclear weapons into Finland. Right? This thing is ready to blow up, and everyone's just like, I just need more money. I just need more sense gratification. Prabhupada said, actually, the human form of life is meant for not enjoying your senses. How's that for a change of pace? Material life is meant for not enjoying your senses. That's exactly opposite, isn't it? So the human form of life, not enjoying sense gratification, but developing in our Krishna consciousness. That's the point of the human form of life. If we're so distracted and using all of our thoughts and energy and desires and plans for enjoying our senses and the senses of our family and friends, then we're just wasting, squandering the human form of life. And now it's risky, because all that sinful activities, now there's no guarantee we'll take another human birth. And we're ready to risk it, isn't it? Even Krishna himself had to go collect wood in the forest as a brahmachari for the spiritual master. So Krishna, he's teaching the brahmachari, right, they're trained up how to do tapasya. Were we trained up how to do tapasya? The only tapasya is how to get more money. Right? So tapasya, austerity and sacrifice is only geared towards making more money for more sense gratification. Right? But this is tapo divyam, means divine austerity. Prabhupada says, we have become, because of this asatsanga, material consciousness, material lifestyle, we have become so foolish, so dull, that we don't even know what is the actual condition of our own lives. So if we cannot get purified and intelligent enough to realize the reality of our own condition, how then can you offer a solution? You're offering a solution to someone who doesn't think they have a problem. So it's meaningless. First you have to convince them, please understand how you have a problem so that I can give you this solution. Isn't it? So we're so dull, so low consciousness, so foolish, we cannot even perceive our own suffering condition. Like animals, animal consciousness. They think they're having fun. They're rolling and playing, enjoying on the street. The dogs, the hogs, eating stool, having sex life. That's the job of the animals. We're so foolish, especially in Kali Yuga. We have no idea what is the actual condition of our life. We cannot feel all threefold miseries. We cannot feel that the world is a prison house. We cannot realize how Krishna says it's a temporary and miserable place. That's why we always talk about that. Try to understand, let us try to understand what is the reality of the situation, what is the reality of our condition within how Krishna has created this place. If we don't understand that, then we don't think we have a problem. We're not going to be eager for any type of solution. Does that make sense? So by associating and hearing, purifying the consciousness, as we become more pure, we start to be able to get the senses and intelligence enough to be able to start to perceive the reality of our situation and condition. So the Guru is helping us to understand that by purifying us, by preaching to us, by explaining it until some time, some point where we can actually understand, yes, that's my situation. Yes, I'm suffering. Yes, I'm in anxiety. Yes, I have so many problems. Yes, I've become the person I don't want to be. That's why we always ask this question, are you satisfied with who you are, and are you satisfied with your lifestyle? So if you're very satisfied with yourself and your lifestyle and your consciousness, then you'll not be interested for this. If you're not satisfied and you want to solve it, then we need spiritual solution. Then we need a guru. Prabhupada said, if you don't think you have a problem, and you're certainly not thinking you have to solve the problem, then you don't need a guru. Then you just go, okay, enjoy your life. Try to enjoy your life. Prabhupada says, I'm repeating this again and again and again to you. But we're so foolish that we cannot hear it, we cannot understand it, we cannot realize what is the actual reality or condition of our life due to this low degraded consciousness. I'm repeating this again and again to you. Our actual position is not to die, but we are dying. We are so foolish, we do not even think to take care of that problem. Oh, let us die. I said, we're so foolish. Yeah, let us die, let us die. Enjoy and then die. Okay, then let us die. And then it says that the worst possible pain that you can experience on any platform is when you're dying. People think, no, you just go to sleep and then you die. Right, especially in Western civilization, nobody taking care of the grandmother, the grandfather, the mother, the father. They're just taking all their money, giving it to the nursing home, and sticking mother, father, grandparents in the nursing home. You take care of them. Then they're just loading them with heavy drugs. They're like, you go see your parents, how's daddy doing? Because the nurses, nobody wants to deal with these suffering people. Screaming from disease, old age, and death. So they just pump them with some, heavy duty morphine, heavy narcotics, right? Some horse tranquilizer. And they're just like, they can't feel anything. And then the parents come in, are they feeling any pain? They're like, no way. Great, let's go. We have to go out to dinner now. They're not feeling any pain. Okay, chalo. This is advancement of modern civilization. And then they work their whole life, save all of the money, and then the hospital, nursing home taking 80% of their money. Yeah, we'll take care of your family. You give us 80% of all of his savings. And then we'll give him the best narcotics that money can buy. He won't feel any pain. And then he'll just go to sleep and leave his body peacefully. Those who take care of the family, mother, father, grandparent, you see old age, disease, and death in front of your face. They don't want to be bothered by that. How can they enjoy if they're seeing old age, disease, and death in front of their face every single day? They want to be in illusion of that. They don't want to see, experience any part of that because it's disturbing their sense gratification. They're not caring for the people. They're caring that if I'm so disturbed, if we're all so disturbed, then we can't enjoy our life. That's a disturbance to our sense gratification. Okay? They're sleeping, there's no pain. When they die, they'll close their eyes and go away, hopefully sooner rather than later, because it's so expensive keeping them in that condition. Is that now also happening in India? Right? But before, this was very rare, right? Now it's a common thing. Yeah, we all put it, that's what they talk about at the office, right? Yeah, we had to put, mommy and daddy and grandpa, grandma, we had to put them in the nursing home. It became too difficult to take care of them. We couldn't work 80 hours a week. Yeah. This is problem. Okay, let us die. Let us die, Prabhupada. But the Bhagavatam, Krishna says, why should you die? Why should you have to go through this? Old age, disease, death. If you don't see old age, disease, and death, then only when you're going through it, that's when you're going to realize it. And then the family going to dump you in some nursing home with a bunch of people that drugging you up. And they have many videos of you have some people just beating the mother, father, grandparents, right? They have video. No respect, no proper care. Just crazy people beating family member. We have such a dull brain. Who wants to come every day and hear you have such a dull brain? That we're so foolish, stupid people, remaining in this condition. Who wants to hear that every single day? Pay attention. Stop looking at that baby. Come over here, sit down. These babies are very bewildering. They really are. I told you that story. I was giving nice class, everyone listening to me, and this really cute baby walked in, and everybody started looking at that baby. Even I was looking at the baby. I said, wow, that's a cute kid, you know? But immediately, especially Matajis, everyone's like, oh, look at that baby. Everybody wants to pinch the cheek, you know? They completely lost their mind. We're talking about death here. We're talking about how to not let us die. Pay attention. So nobody interested in this topic. That's how strong Maya is. Right? It says this life is preparation for the next life. You go up to anybody and ask them, is your goal in life is to prepare yourself for your next life? How many people will say yes? Everyone will be like, I'm worried about this life. I don't even know if I have a next life. The clock is ticking. I got to enjoy as much as possible in this life. I remember when I was chanting one time in Tallinn, Estonia, and we were going, and the cruise ship were coming there, and also many tourists coming there, and they were all like, you know, old, really old, 80, 90 years old, and they're like trying to get down the stair, right? They're going there for sightseeing. Well, you can't even see. You can't see, you can't hear, you can't taste, you can't digest anything. Everything's hurting. And if you're not hurting, you're seriously medicated, then what exactly are you looking at? And they're like, yeah, we worked our whole life for this trip, you know? Recently I heard that, you know, this couple, they go to the Bahamas, you know, some Caribbean island or something. 70, 80-year-old people just retired. Beautiful water, palm trees, nice, beautiful, right? And they're just going for a little swim and they drown. So a lady sitting on the beach, oh, my husband's drowning in the water. Let me go save him. And they both drown. So we've saved our whole life for this trip so we can enjoy in the last days of our life, right? It's sad, actually. When I saw that, I said, this is so sad. They burned all of their energy and they have no senses left to enjoy anything. And they're just facing some last minutes before old age, disease, and death is completed. We need to hear this every single day, right? But it's unpalatable. I remember one time I was sitting with my father, he's eating some meat. He prepared some dinner, you know? So I said, Father, you know that when you die, you have to take a birth as the animal, as many hairs are on that animal, that many births you have to take in that same species to be slaughtered just like that animal that you're just about ready to eat. So it's just my father, he's getting ready to eat, and I'm sitting across the table just saying, do you know how many deaths and births you're going to take as that animal? And my father said, son, you're probably right. But right now, I need to eat this. So your preaching is seriously getting in the way of my ability to enjoy this meal. So this is very inconvenient for them, isn't it? That's why it needs to be spoken and heard, right? The whole life is a miserable condition. Tri tapa yatana. Adhyatmika, adhibodhika, adhidaivika. But we are so foolish, we cannot perceive it, and we have accepted this miserable condition of life. This, what to do, it's life, it's customary. So we're just accepting it repeatedly. What to do? You live and then you die. Huh?
It's part of life.
It's part of life, but you're dying. It's part of life. No, it's part of death. And then how much are you suffering at the time you're passing from your body? Nobody wants to talk about that. Nobody wants to talk about being cramped inside another womb of a mother for 9 months or longer, depending on what species you're coming out on, right? So this is a very light-hearted conversation, isn't it? Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan, Krishna says, your real miserable condition is so great. It was a great class. All we talked about was how miserable life is and how we're all suffering and dying and how stupid and foolish and dull we are. It was a great class, actually. So who wants to consider this topic? And if we don't associate and hear about this, then where will you hear it? Where will you think about it? Where will we think I better do something about it? Then there's no chance. So gurus are just flattering you, yes, yes, you know, very nice, you're a nice devotee of Krishna, nice, here's a cookie, here's a garland, chant Hare Krishna, enjoy. And then they say, like, what are you doing for Krishna? Right? And it's like, you don't know? It's like anyone can just say, you know, I decided to do this for Krishna. The point is, you go to the guru to say, what does Krishna want me to do? The guru is so detached, he's just saying, so, you know, what are you doing for Krishna? What are you doing for Krishna that Krishna is accepting in the mood of loving devotion? What are you offering? I was just going to give like, you know, like thank you for coming, and I was going to give like some kind of like final address, and this is my final address. This is my last chance to shake you, to jolt you, to shock you. because I'm your friend. And I need to hear this as well. Prabhupada said, who is taking this seriously? Everybody likes to think that we're sincere and serious person, right? Who doesn't like to think, I think I'm sincere, I think I'm a serious person. But how serious are we when we hear this information? How much does it affect us to take to that solution? So there's so many advancement of the education, scientific, but who's making the research work how to stop death? How to not have to take another material birth? Who's worrying about that? Where is that subject matter being taught in all the educational institutes? Nobody is there. These rascals, they forget that death is not our business. It's artificial, it's being forced upon us. So how do you not take another birth? How much were we thinking about that today when we were chanting, that I don't want to take another material birth? Was that running through your mind? What other nectar can I find for you here? No intelligence. Not good intelligence. Sanatana Goswami, he approached Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and his first question was, my dear Lord, somehow or other you dragged me to your lotus feet, but I am inquiring from you that what is my actual position? So he's admitting he doesn't even understand what is the reality of his condition. What is my actual position? That's also self-realization, to understand your actual position. Why am I being forced to suffer all of these three kinds of miserable conditions of the material life? Why am I being forced? Why are we being forced to suffer? Why do we have to suffer? Why do we have to be in so much anxiety? Why is that? And can you fix it? Can you get out of that? Can you get free from that condition? So people, they're not asking. They're not making this inquiry. Prabhupada said, nobody's interested. Nobody's interested in moksha, how to purify and get liberated. Or nobody can conceive even that there is something like moksha. You know, you can't think about and desire moksha if you don't even know what is moksha. This is heavy, right? Is it heavy discussion? I feel like it's heavy. Am I supposed to be doing this? Yeah? The present moment, modern educated persons, they don't know that there is something like moksha and that it can even be achieved, and that there is a process to achieve that. The whole Vedic Shastra is trying to educate us for getting purified and liberated from this materialistic condition. But they don't even know it, because we have become so dull. Again, there's emphasis here, right? We're very proud. We think, no, I'm smart, I'm intelligent, I'm a capable person, right? But if we're not taking any of this seriously, then how smart are we? What do we have to be proud about? No, I'm great, I know so many things. And while we try to establish ourselves, pay obeisances, I'm senior devotee. The whole Vedic Shastra is trying to educate us for getting moksha. And of course, real moksha means bhakti. But they don't know it because we've become so dull. Therefore, especially in this age of Kali Yuga, our condition is very, very, very bad. Do we realize that our condition is very, very, very bad? Can we realize that? Do we realize there's danger at every step? Are we perceiving threefold miseries? Very, very, very bad and very, very slow. Sometimes when you see someone not very intelligent, they say, oh, he's slow. He's a little slow. You know what I mean? Snail's pace slow. Not very bright. Welcome to Kali Yuga, my friend. Manda Sumanda Mataya. Even if one is a little bit interested, they'll take some wrong path. Even you're a little bit interested, you'll take a path which is not authorized or approved. So unfortunate. Even a little bit of interest, they'll just concoct, they'll invent something, they'll make up something, so-called religion. And even you're a little bit interested, then you'll be misguided, unfortunate, misguided, not very intelligent. That's how bad this age really is, and we have no idea. Prabhupada's talking about the people in Bombay. They came, they invented something, how to educate and enlighten the residents in the forest. Right? So we're gonna purify and we're gonna educate the tribal people. We get a good plan how to do that. You see in England, America, all these places, right? They say we're gonna go to Africa, right? We gotta preach to the Africans. So we need to give them religion. We need to educate the masses, right? And then if you say, well then why you're not doing it here? Why you have to go try to do it in Africa? Why you're not doing it here? What is your process of education and enlightenment? Why you're not doing it here? And Prabhupada said, they're not at all interested. They're just doing this thing like a hobby. What do? Oh, we're missionaries, we're going to Africa. We're going to educate and enlighten the African and the tribal people. This is like our habit. Like you go to the zoo, you know? Bring some food, some snacks. Right? Let's go to do the safari. We'll see some Africans, some camels, some lion. Am I torturing you? So Prabhupada said that instead of this misguided nature, we have authorized path. We're pushing Krishna consciousness movement to all different types of men. They can get delivered. They can be delivered by this process. If they associate with Sadhu Guru Vaishnavas, they have this great fortune or opportunity is given to associate with such devotees. By those devotees' mercy, they can also be delivered. Prabhupada says, if you empower my words, then even though so much tamagun, rajagun, still, they'll be able to get out of Maya. Prabhupada said the root cause of bhakti or devotional service to Lord Krishna is associated with advanced self-realized devotees of Krishna. That's the root cause of developing this bhakti, devotional service, is associating with those who are Krishna's devotee. So this is most essential for the spiritual life. Prabhupada said, if you think that you can on your own be Krishna conscious, God conscious, it's not possible. You're living in a big illusion that you think you can be Krishna conscious on your own. We need association which forces us, especially in beginning, to focus squarely on the actual authorized solution of Krishna consciousness as given by Krishna and Krishna's bona fide authorized parampara, disciplic succession. That is the solution. If we can simply hear that, purify our consciousness, put faith in that, and agree to cooperate with that process, just like a doctor gives you a nice prescription. So if we realize, oh, I'm in a disease condition, I need a nice spiritual prescription. So Prabhupada, Sadhu Vaidya, you're giving nice prescription. Prabhupada program. From the morning, Mangalati, chanting, Bhagavatam, Prasadam, book distribution, Harinam, Prasadam distribution, helping other souls to come to Krishna consciousness, preaching to them about Krishna, helping your family, your children also how to become Krishna conscious, how to work to help the preaching mission to spread the Krishna consciousness solution. All of that engagement, intelligence, mind, senses, whatever ability, whatever resource, whatever assets, to somehow engage it, become Krishnaized, then automatically you'll become purified and free from all of this material consciousness and such strong, deep-rooted material bodily identification and material bodily relationship. Then we'll have more time, more energy. Prabhupada says simple living, high thinking. Modern civilization has made so complicated living and no thinking about spiritual life. Opposite. Material life is geared how to get sense gratification as maximum as possible. And the spiritual life is how to give up sense gratification. There's a heaven and hell difference. Association, what are you talking about in that association? How to increase our material attachment and material sense gratification as a unit, or how to purify ourselves and liberate ourselves from material consciousness so we can more seriously practice spiritual life. If we minimize the materialistic desires and materialistic attachment and we learn how to be satisfied, then we don't have to just keep chasing more endlessly, and then you burn all your energy working like an ass. What advancement is there? Any questions or points? Yeah? Microphone, you have? This is like a good workout, right? I feel like I'm lifting weights. Thank you.
Srila Gurudev, thank you very much. I just wanted to tell that yesterday was a situation and Guru and Krishna again showed how everything is true what you are telling on the classes. And we have neighbors and they gave us to a flat.
Yesterday?
Yesterday, yes. And they gave to us a flat and they have a child, a small child. And
Gave to them what?
they have a child. They have a
They had
small
a child?
Yes.
Oh. Isn't that nice?
And our Sita, she looked at this on this child and she ran to this child. She wanted to play with the child, and child was eating.
Children play.
Yes.
That's their dharma.
And a child was eating a cookie with chocolate, and I just,
Children like chocolates.
yes. And
So you have to give them some prasad sweet, not the
Ye-
chocolate.
Yes, but I asked the child parents why you gave to him chocolate.
Who asked?
I asked parents, and they told that our authority, all Maharajas, they drinking coffee and they eating chocolate.
Such mercy.
We're all blinded.
Such mercy.
Almost
You have very
everybody.
special guru. Well, my guru says I can eat chocolate. Oh, I need a guru. I need to make him my Shiksha guru. He's giving permission. He's very liberal. Right? This other person talking about death and dull and stupid and no intelligence and making everything so narrow. That narrow path means this is how to get prema. If we're not interested for that seriously, then okay, everybody's going to do anything, isn't it? So we have to be reminded of the actual solution, purify ourselves, hopefully become convinced by that and put faith in that, and try to develop a desire, at least how to get that, how to attain that, how to have the strength and the willingness to try to follow that. That's up to us to decide. It's being offered to everybody. But who can hear it? Who can take it seriously? Who ready to dedicate their life? Who ready to put all risk? Nobody wants to take a risk. So we're doing go slow. Right? Well, what happens if Krishna takes everything? Well, if he wants to take everything, he's going to take it anyway. So what are you going to hold on to? I remember a couple times, like I had some like little item, like some pen or something, and I was like, oh, I really like this pen, you know? And all of a sudden it'd be like lost. And then I would just say, oh, I really like this thing, you know, and then it's like gone. So I started like not telling Krishna I like something. And then I was laughing at myself, like, you think Krishna doesn't know you like that? I don't want to say that I like something because Krishna might take it, you know? Because I had experience every time I said, oh, I really like this thing. And all of a sudden it's like, where is it? You know, it's gone. Now I'm like, I can't stand that thing. And then in the heart we're like, I really like that thing. So we cannot cheat Krishna. He knows. Better be honest with Krishna. Then there's, my Guru said, at least if you're honest, there's hope. If you're not honest, then there's no hope really. So we're just crooked, dishonest, thinking we're cheating Krishna. We're just cheating ourselves. We're getting cheated because we're cheating. So first understand the reality of the situation and be honest about it. And be humbled by it, that information. And understand what spiritual desire needs to be cultivated. When Gurudev was saying about simplicity, being very simple, and I was thinking, well, I don't feel like I'm very simple. And then I was thinking, well, this simplicity is absolutely required, but yet we're not simple. So that's a problem. So now, then I asked Gurudev, well, Gurudev, I realize I'm not simple enough, so how do I become more simple? And Gurudev said, Adi Baba, just be simple. So then I was like, well, what kind of answer is that? I'm trying to understand the meaning of that answer. Just be simple. Well, that's why I asked the question, because I'm not simple. But then when I thought about the way he answered it, it means you just understand you need this thing and you are not that thing, and now you have to desire how to become like that. Cultivate a desire how to become like that, how to develop that quality or that requirement. Desire it. I don't have it, but I need it. Now you're desiring how to be simple. Now you're desiring, how not to grumble and complain. Now you're praying for power of tolerance because you realize we have no tolerance. If we're raised to just enjoy sense gratification, where is this huge abundance of tolerance that we have cultivated? Have we cultivated a patience and tolerance? We've cultivated, I want it now. We don't even want to wait. Right? One click away. One click away. Or even they have a joke they say, well, when do you need it by? You say, yesterday. Yesterday. When did you need this by? Yesterday. Not even today. So where's all the training for patience and tolerance? So we have no patience and tolerance. That's a problem. To uproot all of this thing and to get purified of all of this thing, how can you go through that process if we have no patience and tolerance and we want it already done yesterday? So that means, I realize I don't have enough patience and tolerance. That means that's another thing I really need. So if I get the mercy, I get the merciful intelligence and spiritual strength, then I'll understand it properly and I'll have the strength to tolerate it, to go through that process. When Gurudev said, pray for the power of tolerance, I was like, why would you pray for the power of tolerance? Don't you just tolerate? And then when you're put in a situation that's intolerable and you want to run away and escape, now you have to pray. Oh, now I understand. I need the merciful power of tolerance to accept it, not grumble and complain, and continue to surrender with the right mood and attitude for the pleasure of Guru and Krishna. Oh, Gurudev, just let me do everything I like to do and want to do.
Ice cream.
Then I'll surrender. Right, we were talking about Prabhupada. He said to some young Grihasta couple, right, you know, here's a one-way plane ticket, $100, and here's the name of some person that's supposed to be favorable about Krishna consciousness. Go to that country and open a temple. And they just get on the plane. One way, they were never even on a plane before. They never left their town before. And now you're going there with $100 and a, you know, right? And a phone number of some person, you have no idea who are they, and it's just some you know, rumor that this person is favorable. And they're just like blindly doing it.
Yes.
And Prabhupada said, go open a temple there. But our devotees are like, you know, well, is there proper accommodation? Are the rooms sufficient? Is it attached bath? What time is prasadam? Right? Then if all of that is like nice, then we're like, okay, I'll try. So one devotee I was reading where Prabhupada was preaching to the devotees in Australia, because they thought that Krishna consciousness was some cult, brainwashing cult, which was dangerous to the society. So they were throwing devotees in the jail, and they were getting locked up. And Prabhupada was just saying, if Krishna puts you in the jail, just chant Hare Krishna in the jail cell. And whoever the prisoners there in the jail, just tell them about Krishna. And they're like, okay, Prabhupada. And they're just preaching, doing Harinam in the jail. And it's like six, 7 times. So the next day, I met someone from Australia. And I said, oh, I just was reading yesterday that devotees were getting locked up, and he by himself, he said, yes, we had 6, 7 times we were thrown in the jail. He was one of those people. I just read it the day before. Now I'm meeting one of those guys, devotees, who's thrown in the jail. You know, young 20, 21-year-old people. Young people. You come from nice family, you have money, you have other things, you're kicking it, and you're sitting in a jail somewhere? Because the crime of chanting Hare Krishna, Mahamantra? And they're being repeatedly locked up? And I said, I just have one really nice question for you. And he said, yes. I said, what would make you to just take such a risk, to be put in such a situation where you're even thrown in the jail? And he said, because we love Prabhupada. We don't even care. Because we love Srila Prabhupada. So the greatest motivator is love, isn't it? Love and affection. We're putting our love and affection towards family members and how to please them. Here it's talking about how to put love and affection towards Vaishnavas, Guru, devotees, who are risking everything. Krishna says those who give up everything to try to spread Krishna consciousness to the humankind, they are very dear to me. So those devotees, Prabhupada, Srila Govinda Swami, such Vaishnavas, they take such a heavy responsibility, they become very dear. We want to serve those devotees who are that dear to Krishna. And then automatically, we also can become dear. But if we're kripana, and we're narrow, and we're selfish, foolish, then how we become dear? So I'm always talking about any way that we can find motivation. We need to be motivated, pushed. Like an ass, we need mostly like a stick. Like Sankirtan, he needs a stick. He's not going to do on his own. Right? How about you? You need a stick? No? He's like, no, I don't. He's a smart ass because he's a smart ass. Because the smart ass, he figures out, oh, that stick's coming. I know it is that stick, you know? They already start galloping, you know? The more dumbasses, they need to get hit like 2 times, you know what I mean? We got the dumbass and the smart ass. Now I understand where that originated from. I was just saying it like it's right, and all of a sudden it's like, that's kind of like, he's a dumbass, you know? Well, he's an ass, but he thinks he's very wise. It's like, oh, he's a smart ass, you know? So love and affection is greatest motivator. Why you're working 80 hours a week to provide for your family? Why you're taking such hardship? Because of love and affection. Isn't it? You're ready to perform that kind of austerity, that type of sacrifice, that type of commitment, determination, draining all of your time and energy and resources. I was thinking that, you know, when I had, when my father, they passed away. And, you know, you feel bad, you're just grateful, thank you for trying to help me, right? And then I could see, well, how was I when my spiritual master left his body? That was soul wrenching. Your soul is crying. Then I understood, and Prabhupada Vaishnava said this is like the closest thing of gopis crying for Krishna when he leaves Vrindavan. This type of soul crying. That means that there's a spiritual relationship based on soul platform. And then I compared that with my reaction when my mother passed away, and then my father passed away, and my brother passed away, my sister passed away, my best friend passed away. And there was no comparison. I felt a little bad. I tried to, you know, pray for them. I tried to be grateful anytime they tried to help me. But my soul was not crying. Just some emotion from bodily platform, some little thing is there. It's a literally heaven and hell difference. So if we don't have that kind of spiritual connection and relationship, what will motivate you? Especially when you don't have any sense gratification, or nothing is going the way you particularly want it. Nothing you asked for, but Guru Krishna put on you, asked you to do. Can we do that? So I just, you know, when I was thinking about this point this morning about the motivation, and then this devotee said that because we love Prabhupada so much, even he's saying we didn't even really know very much about the philosophy and nothing. We just loved Prabhupada, how he reciprocating with us, and we were just ready to die for Prabhupada. Then I got my confirmation that this is the real motivation. Otherwise, it's all conditional. And I like Maharaj because he's providing some material sense gratification for us, giving us some benefit, but it's not necessarily spiritual relationship. And unless we have that spiritual relationship, where you're greedy to get Gurudev association and to get his mercy and to associate with him, and that is so far, high experience, that going to meet the ordinary family members, you cannot compare it. I remember one time when Gurudev was flying to Boston, and my family is from that area. So I was Grihastha, and Gurudev was going to the temple, and I was going to my family's house, and my mother picked me up in the airport. And somehow she was lucky, she got a darshan of Gurudev. And I could it was like, here are these two families. Here is the spiritual family on soul platform. And here is this materialistic biological family on the bodily platform. So you could directly perceive. And with Gurudev there, compared to my biological family, it was heaven and hell difference. I had, all of my desire was to associate with my Gurudev. And the little bit that I wanted to help my family in their spiritual life, then I just tried to encourage them, help them. So some Prabhupada said, there's naturally some attachment because you grew up, you were raised by these people, associating with these people. But after spending so many years just being with Gurudev and cultivating spiritual relationship, this became so meaningful that all this other so-called importance of all these other relationships really became minuscule, really seriously shrunken. Then you can see how that makes it easier to detach yourself from the strength of this bodily family attachment. So it has to be really a genuine spiritual relationship. Otherwise, okay, I'm just going to attach myself to some devotee of Krishna. You let Krishna make the arrangement, and you can, by mercy, understand that arrangement, then you can cultivate spiritual relationship. And the significance of that relationship as compared to just mundane bodily relationship, it becomes not important at all. Otherwise, how you get detached from that situation? That's what this verse is talking about. So if you really want to get free from this bodily platform and serving in the Maya, samsara, the cycle of birth and death, and cultivating all of this asat sangha, and trying to satisfy people who can never be satisfied, better shift that relationship and attachment towards Guru Sadhu Vaishnavas. Then that relationship really if we get mercy, we understand this is a spiritual relationship. This is a relationship on platform of the soul. When I met Srila Gaur Govinda Swami, I felt like everybody else I ever met in my life, nobody really understands me. No matter how much I can communicate and explain everything, they either don't care to, they don't want to, they're not interested in it, it's half-hearted, or they're misunderstanding. But with Gurudev, I could understand he knows me immediately. I never had that experience where you just meet somebody and immediately you understand that even if I don't say anything, this person automatically knows me, like on a deep level. Then I understood, what does Janmi Janmi Prabhu say? It means life after life. The Guru is coming back to save you, to protect you, to collect you. When I met Gurudev, he said, won't you come with me? Won't you help me? Won't you cooperate with me? I've come here for you, Murali. I came here for you. Won't you help me? Won't you cooperate with me? Then you understand Jammi Jammi Prabhu said. Then you understand what is Satguru. Then you'll understand what is pure via medium of Krishna. Then you'll understand external manifestation of Paramatma Super Soul. Their mercy, Krishna's mercy, Guru's mercy, is absolutely required for that. Otherwise we cannot really understand it. We cannot enter into it. And then that's up to us, how much we're crying from soul platform, how eager, how greedy we are for that. That sincerity and seriousness, we have to show that to Krishna. And if you convince Krishna, then Krishna will send you, Prabhupada said, Krishna will send you a very nice guru. If you're not serious, you're just want everything cheap, you're just cheating mentality, then you'll get cheated. You'll get some cheating guru. So that's up to us to decide. I can't make you do what I tried to do. I can't make you have that motivation or determination. I can't make you be willing to risk everything, to risk your whole life. How can I make you do that? You have to do that. All I can say is all those Vaishnavas who got the mercy, this is what they did. That's how they got mercy. That's how they got recognized. And that's why they got benefited. And how they became qualified. So everything boils down to desire and strength of desire. And everyone individually in front of Krishna, who's witness and judge, have to convince Krishna whether we want really Krishna or whether we really want the Maya. Whether we want the Vanchana or we want the Kripa. Opportunity is there for everybody who hears this information. How many are fortunate enough and eager enough, desperate enough, serious enough to hear it and then take advantage of it, not considering anything? Well, what will this mean? And how does this affect the rest of my life and the plans in my life? How does this affect my family? society. Everyone calculating like this. They're not trusting Krishna. They don't want Krishna. So then everything is slow. That some delay is there. So if we have love for spiritual master, really good, they said if you have really Guru Bhakti and you do Guru Seva, trying to sincerely please the spiritual master, then you can understand what is Krishna Bhakti, what does Krishna Seva mean. We need a training ground. We need somewhere to practice and cultivate it, to come to understand it, and Krishna's doing that by giving us Gurudev. Cultivate spiritual relationship with Gurudev, then you'll understand what is spiritual relationship on soul platform with Krishna and Krishna's devotee. Then we can get free from all of this uselessness, madness. That's the test, that's our test. But if we don't hear this, we won't even think about this. You just quote the verse, oh yes, just attach yourself to some sadhu, and then you get rid of your material attachment. But what does that mean? How do you do it? What's required? What's the qualification of that personality? Who has sent that personality? What is our qualification to want to cultivate this type of spiritual relationship? And as long as we're busy cultivating materialistic relationship, you cannot have it. One's on the bodily platform, others on the soul platform. And if you're on soul platform, you can have relationship with anybody because you're relating to them as a soul. Even if it's your wife or husband or mother or child, they're a soul, they belong to Krishna. My responsibility to help their soul. So when Gurudev was speaking to me, his words went from he as a soul to my soul. He's talking to my soul, not to my body. That's what it means heavy. Heavy means it's going as deep as possible, beyond all gross, subtle material body. Going directly to your soul. The words are penetrating by His mercy directly to your soul. That's Guru. And if one is not really authorized and empowered, nobody can do that. They talk to your intellect, they talk to your emotion, they talk to your mind, your bodily situation. They cannot talk to your soul. If you're not on soul platform, and you're not relating with Krishna on that soul platform, how can you talk to anybody's soul? You don't even know your own soul. And then what are you going to talk to that other soul about is what does Krishna want you to do, how you can be benefited, how you can please Krishna and get Krishna's mercy. That's the talk, that's the discussion. There's no other topic on soul platform. And if it's not this real and meaningful, then what does attachment to some sadhu guru mean? That's why Gurudev said, your life does not belong to you anymore. Now you belong to that Guru. Now be prepared to die. That's heavy. But if we're willing to make that kind of sacrifice, that type of risk, and not hesitating, then you deserve all the mercy. You get all the mercy. You deserve it. You're not holding back anything. You're risking everything. Putting everything out here, everything. You want to save me, save me. You want to kill me, kill me. Nothing left. There's nothing left in the material world. That's why this is for serious people. There's not a joke. That's why most people don't want to hear this type of thing. Oh yes, I'm connecting you to Prabhupada. How you're connecting me to Prabhupada? I was already connected to Prabhupada before I met you. So how now you're connecting me to Prabhupada? I'm already connected to Prabhupada. He already convinced me. I'm trying to figure out how connected you are to Prabhupada. I'm here to connect you to Prabhupada. Right? Krishna convinced us he's Bhagavan. Nobody else convinced us. So then I go to Guru, he said, oh, I'm going to convince you about Bhagavan. What are you going to convince me about Bhagavan? Krishna already convinced me. Any points, questions? Yes? Oh, don't mind, her hand was up first. I don't want to disappoint her. Then I'm coming right back at you. They say ladies before gentlemen.
Thank you.
Of course, they have to become ladies. That's another question. Yeah.
So my question is very connected to what you've just been talking about and the whole thing with chocolate.
It's about the baby.
No, it's about the...
Oh, it's about the chocolate.
Yes. And yesterday, well, every day since I was told I am not supposed to eat chocolate.
Every day what?
Every day since I was told I'm not supposed to eat chocolate.
Every day since what?
I was told not to eat chocolate.
Oh, from that point on, you started eating chocolate.
Like crazy. And I'm trying not to, but it's like a huge attachment now.
Then my instruction to you is to eat chocolate. So now, because you're so rebellious,
Yeah.
you may say, well, I'm not going to eat chocolate. So maybe that same psychology will work this time.
I will try
Right?
to do it.
So you be rebellious. Eat chocolate every day.
Thank you.
And then somebody will hear this tape and say, Maharaj is telling everybody they got to eat chocolate. They won't understand what are we saying. They'll misunderstand it.
I get your point.
Yeah, I know you got my point. I'm worried about everybody else. They'll misunderstand it.
Yesterday.
Yesterday,
After
all my troubles seem so far away. all your troubles run away. By mercy of Guru and Krishna.
I tried to ask Krishna or feel into why am I longing so much for it right now, and I felt like it was the longing for Krishna, and I'm trying to put this dummy instead of really connecting.
If you become greedy for Krishna, then you become greedy for Guru. And once you become greedy for the Guru, he'll make you more greedy for Krishna. So they'll both help you, right? So the Guru, Krishna trying to give you to the Guru, and the Guru trying to give you to Krishna. So the two mercies are required. They're both working together for the same cause. Because Krishna says, service to my devotee is more pleasing to me than if you try to please me directly. So if you think, okay, I'm going to please Krishna's devotee, then this will be more pleasing to Krishna, and also I get mercy from Guru and Krishna. So Krishna is saying, do you really want to please Krishna? Find a dear devotee of Krishna who gave everything, and try to somehow please them, and think, Krishna, I want to try to please your devotee because this is most pleasing to you. I remember one time, this is very, important Leela for me. Srila Govinda Maharaj told me in Gadagiri, just standing there next to Maharaj, and he said, I want you to go in the temple in front of Gopal, and whatever you ask from Gopal, he will he'll immediately bestow it upon you. I don't even know anything. I'm just going to Gopal. Gopal, Gurudev told me to come here. And he said, whatever I pray for, by his mercy, by your mercy, that you'll bestow it upon me. So I feel like this is such a great benediction to me that Gurudev's Gopal, he'll never say no to Gurudev. And Gurudev said, no, you go to him, whatever you ask for from him, he'll immediately bestow it upon you. And then if we understand what's the most pleasing thing to Gopal, is if you can love and serve his dearest devotee. That'll be most pleasing to him. Then nothing else to pray for. What is the most pleasing thing to Gopal? To Krishna, Gopinath. So if we can somehow or other get this type of mercy and blessing and take it to heart and be reminded of it and be determined in it, then we have a great auspicious future in this life and in the future life. So Gurudev said, whatever pure devotee asks Krishna, Krishna will never say no to such devotee. If we ask Krishna, he might say no. But if they ask, Krishna says, I'm servant of such devotee. Although I'm supreme controller, those devotees, they can control me by their bhakti, by their love for me, they're controlling me. and I just become their servant. So whatever they want, whatever they ask for, Krishna will not say no. So if we can get such devotee to pray on our behalf, this is where Krishna won't say no. That's secret of success. That's the easiest secret of success. But what do we have to do to deserve to be able to ask this type of question, or to have Gurudev ask this of Krishna? Gurudev also said, if Gurudev loves Krishna, why would he ask Krishna to come and sit in your filthy heart? So that was quite shocking. That means he could ask Krishna to come and sit in your heart and Krishna will not say no. But why will Gurudev do? As long as your heart is like this. We are the problem. We have to take responsibility for that, for this delay. Because we're not cooperating. We're being stupid, foolish. We're risking, foolishly risking. And then we should be very careful because we could squander. Instead of being most fortunate, we can very easily become most unfortunate. And we're not even conscious of these things. Oh, I have this problem, and I need money, and I have a family problem, and I have a health problem, and right, I have this problem, now I have a diet problem, I have a medication problem, I have so many problems. Gurudev was saying yesterday in the quote of the day, he was saying, I don't know if I can pull it up here. This is from yesterday, right? Yes. So this is Srila Gaur-Govinda Swami, and he was speaking in the Padayatra, arrival address in Bhubaneswar. After Padayatra, coming back to Bhubaneswar, then we would have big festival. And Gurudev was speaking, and he was saying that there is so much pollution in the atmosphere. I'm coming back to you, man. I didn't forget about you. All right? There's so much pollution in the atmosphere due to industrialism. So much industry, so much pollution going up into the sky, into the air. So many industries are producing such filthy, contaminated air, contaminating the whole atmosphere. How will the atmosphere be purified? In Japan, it is said that there is so much industrialization on such a small island that there is no more pure air is available. So the people, they go and buy pure air and oxygen so that they can just try to breathe some pure air just to survive. So how can you purify the air, this pollution in the air? Guru, Sadhu Shastra, they say that just by doing this Hari Sankirtana, congregational chanting, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. When many devotees purely chant together seriously, then the whole atmosphere will be filled with transcendental sound vibration, and by that transcendental sound vibration, the whole polluted atmosphere will become completely purified from all contamination. The air becomes purified. Think about that. Right, we think, oh, the chanting, it just creates like a spiritual atmosphere, right? But here it's saying, no, the holy name itself will purify the air pollution. And Krishna is within every atom, right? So if it's so resounding type of kirtan, then the air pollution will get, it'll be completely purified from all of that contamination. So if it can purify the contamination in the sky, how much can it purify the contamination within our heart and our mind? This is heart diseases there, with this contamination within the heart. So Prabhupada said the other day that, you see, we have a spiritual problem. The root of the problem is spiritual. All the other different suffering, anxiety, ill health, mental health, this problem, that problem, whatever other problem is there, the reason that problem is there is because we have the root cause, we have a spiritual disease problem. So it said the holy name is unfailing medicine. Other medicines may work temporarily, they can solve some symptoms, but the holy name, Krishna's mercy manifesting, can purify even the atmosphere, even the pollution in the sky, what to speak of our heart and our consciousness. So this is very amazing to me, because I always took it, oh, it's just a sound vibration creates some spiritual atmosphere. But this is saying literally the carbon that's in the sky will also get completely purified, and you'll have pure oxygen because of the strength of the holy name. So whatever problem we think we have and do have, we're making a calculation how to materially solve that, instead of solving the root of the problem. Isn't Ayurveda that it's famous because it's going to what is the root of the problem? So all the other medicines are treating the symptoms. Oh, I have this symptom, that symptom, oh, digestion problem, oh, coughing problem, oh, this problem, that problem, right? So if I just solve all of that first, then I'll be more healthy. And then I'll be able to surrender and serve Guru and Krishna. But it's opposite. If we just surrender to serve Guru and Krishna, then by their mercy, and mercy of the Lord, mercy of the holy name, mercy of Hari-katha, Krishna-katha, that will purify and change the disease condition. So there's a spiritual, holistic spiritual approach. But because we don't have faith in it, therefore we're putting faith in this medicine, this medication, this, that, trying to solve some symptoms. But if we don't solve the root of the problem, the symptoms will always keep coming back. There's nothing you can take to solve it perpetually or completely unless we solve the root of the problem. So if we surrender to Guru and Krishna, and you're prepared to die in that process, then Krishna will either purify you and save you or kill you. What does it matter? What else is left in this world that's so damn important? Haven't we seen it all? Haven't we done it all? Like, what's left? We're still thinking there's some peace and happiness and satisfaction in the prison house with a bunch of corrupt criminals who are all completely selfish and hypocritical and quarrelsome. That is Maya's trick. All right, tell me.
No, it's fine.
Are you able to hear me?
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So talking about desire, I feel sometimes like it's been a while that I don't feel a desire for even happiness or sadness or excitement.
You're like a rock.
I don't know what's happening. I want to enjoy the things I want to experience, but even after doing so, I'm not able to get into that moment. And at the same time, I want to achieve everything. I have a desire to. I don't have any kind of desire to get anything, but
So
at
you
the
have
same
no
time,
desire, but you're desiring some desire.
The thing is, I am not able to feel whatever happening when
Let me check your pulse.
in a particular situation. Suppose if I go to a roller coaster ride, I'll be like I'll not be excited so much to be on that ride. But even after the
Listen, you're a smart guy, all right? I know you're a smart guy. I didn't say smart ass. I said smart guy. Right? He's a smart ass. So you're a smart guy, all right? Are you not bored? Are you not bored with this world? Is it not boring?
yes, definitely,
It's completely boring place.
exactly.
There's no taste. Nothing is interesting here. Are you interested, Srivas? Is everybody ecstatically interested in this world? You have a great hope and a strong conviction you can be peaceful and happy in this world? You think there's some scenario that can be created, some plan that can be created for that? That's why I say you're a smart guy. It's boring. This is the only interesting thing, and our problem is we're not interested by that either.
But the other thing is that I want all the material gains as well.
You want all the medicine?
All the material gains.
You want all the stool first?
All the material gains, whatever is needed, I want even that. But I'm not interested in that.
You're not interested, but you want it.
I think it's a need or a requirement.
I don't know. I may have to take back the smart guy. I think I prematurely crowned you with that. I jumped the gun. I don't desire it, but I want it. Are you playing words, semantics with me?
That's the thing which I want to understand.
Oh, you want to understand it?
Yeah, I want to understand that what is this desire? What's happening with me? The other side is I don't want anything, and other side is I see the requirement of getting things.
It's mixed.
No.
You have no desire.
I have clarity, but the requirement is such like that I have to gain the material things.
What was your desire for coming here today? What were you hoping you could get out of this meeting today?
Something new or something
new.
learning from you?
Some learning? The topic, the subject matter is Sanatan Dharma, Bhakti,
Yeah, it can be anything.
right? So we're talking about what's required to achieve that, to advance in that process. This is our topic.
Yeah, how not to die again.
You're not asking me about the stock market, right? So this is the topic. I can tell you about the stock market. It's gonna crash.
Even I want that.
Huh?
Even I want that.
You want that? before it crashes? You want just some taste before it crashes? Or you can just delay, you can delay your desire because it's going to crash anyway, right? Let it crash, right? And then don't cultivate the desire until it comes back. And then when it comes back, now it's time to cultivate that desire, right? Even from a materialistic point of view. Otherwise, why press that now? And then one day you say, oh, my retirement fund in my bank account went up like this percentage, right? And then next day it crashes. That means it'll be more painful. If you're poor and it crashes, who cares? Right? It can go up, it go down, it has nothing to do with us, you know? There's some freedom in that.
What's happening with me?
What's happening with you?
How do I understand?
You need self-realization.
I say to you that the requirement is such like that I need to gain the material things. But I see that that's not the reality. I have...
what was the point?
He has a requirement of material things. He has requirement of material things.
So if you go for some material desire, Krishna may give it to you, and you'll get a little bit of pleasure, but the price will be unlimited suffering.
Already suffering.
That's why you're even ready to settle for a little bit of pleasure. I'm already suffering. If you get a little pleasure and go back to suffering, then at least I got something.
No, I don't want to be satisfied in just a little bit of pleasure.
He wants a lot of pleasure.
Huh?
He wants a lot of pleasure.
A lot of pleasure? Then you're in the wrong place.
No, it's not about
Not like that.
any material things.
It's not like that.
It's not about material things. It's about the things.
We are giving pleasure here. After pain is pleasure. So after tapodivyam, divine austerity, then there's spiritual pleasure. So we're offering that pleasure, eternal pleasure.
I'm happy for that, but what about the desire?
Desire for what?
He's happy for that, but
What
But?
about
Was that a
what
but?
about my desire? Why I'm experiencing this thing?
Because you're in a material body, and your material body and your material mind is demanding those things. And because your senses are demanding that, you're seeing that your body and your mind are demanding this material sense gratification. But the soul is different from gross subtle body. So the need of the soul, the desire of the soul is different than the desire of the senses. So you're perceiving that my body and my mind has some materialistic attraction and materialistic desire. That's normal.
So it's not a problem.
It's only a problem if you follow it.
No, I'm not following it.
Huh?
I'm not following it.
If your Maya is putting so much thoughts and attraction and attachment towards sinful life, then we're going to be punished with the sinful reactions. So if you know you get a little bit of pleasure, but you're going to heavy punishment, then Krishna says if you're smart, then you won't go for that thing.
But Krishna also had all the wealth, all the Aishwarya with him. So why can't a devotee or a normal person have?
If you can
Being both spiritual plus into material as well.
if you can be completely Krishna conscious, whether you have money or don't have money, then Krishna may give you. But generally, when we get material opulence, we want to enjoy, and then we forget about Krishna. So that's why Krishna generally doesn't let his devotee to become too much materially opulent, because he's trying to protect our spiritual desire for bhakti, and he doesn't want us to become distracted. But sometimes, if Krishna wants to build temple, he wants to do some big project, he needs money, right? We need money to do all of this thing. So Krishna may bless his devotees to get some wealth, and that wealth is then meant to be used to build the temple or to help with the preaching movement. If you won't use it for Krishna seva, then Krishna may also take away all your wealth if we don't use it properly. If we're selfish and we're not surrendering to Krishna, not trusting Krishna, not using our wealth properly, then he may just take it all away from us. So many times you see this guy, he gets so many billions of dollars, so much material opulent position, and then he gets a stroke. Now he's like a vegetable. So now how are you going to enjoy all your billions of dollars if you're like some vegetable? It's not possible. That's why we were just discussing how a lot of people, most people in Hindu culture, they worship Lord Shiva, because you can easily please him and he gives material dana. If you worship Krishna, looks like Krishna devotees are always like not so materially, opulent. Not poor, but not opulent. Then Krishna will give you just enough to get by. So he won't give you what you want, but he'll give you what you need. And then the rest of the time, instead of chasing money, even you chase money, you forget about Krishna. Then he takes all your money away, you work like an ass for nothing, and then you'll say, oh, I got the point. So you did all of that for nothing, just to get that lesson, I suppose. So whatever Guru Krishna put in front of you, just do that. And whatever you need, automatically will come to you. If you need more, Krishna will know, and automatically Krishna will make some provision for you, some arrangement for you. But we're not trusting Krishna. We're not trusting the Guru. No, we're by ourselves, we have to take care of ourselves. Nobody looking after us, nobody caring for us. That means you're not trusting Guru and Krishna. You think you're protecting yourself. If you fully surrender to Guru and Krishna, that's their responsibility to take care of you. And if Krishna knows you need something, then he'll tell the Guru, this person needs this thing. And the Guru will automatically say some adjustment is required. But we're not waiting for that. We're coming to our own conclusion, then start concocting our own idea and our own plan, and then we're disconnecting from dependence on the Guru and Krishna and their plan. How's it going to work? Now there's no more karma, so you can't depend on your karma. If we don't follow Guru and Krishna instruction, then it's Guru aparad, Seva aparad, Vaishnava aparad, Nam aparad. Now all you get is all the results of the aparads. You can't say, okay, I decided I tried to surrender, it didn't work, I'm going back to my karma. That thing is long gone. Once you surrender, your karma is gone. There's nothing there to go back to. That's why if you have bad karma, it's actually a blessing. Because you're already convinced that I cannot rely on my karma. My karma is bad. So that's not even an option. And even if you had pretty good karma, once you surrender to Krishna, your karma is finished. So what may have worked before, according to the karmic law, will not work now. The dynamic has changed. Oh, you didn't read that in the fine print? In the contract? You didn't see that in the contract? So first we have to fix up what do we really want. Okay, your soul needs Krishna. Your body is demanding Maya by its instinct, by its nature. So are we going to listen to the need of the soul? Or are we going to just keep listening and serving the demands and the needs of the body and bodily relations? That's the only thing we have to decide. We're going to serve Krishna and serve in Guru and Krishna Samsara, or we're going to just continue to serve in the Maya Samsara. Heaven and hell difference. So everyone has to decide. You want to serve Krishna or you want to serve Maya? What do you think?
We make Maya as our servant.
Huh?
And to lead that in the service of Krishna.
Can we make Maya as our servant and
What is it?
Can we make Maya as our servant?
No.
Can we make Maya as our servant and lead that
No, no,
towards
no,
service
no.
of Krishna?
No. Krishna says, Mama Maya.
Because it's Krishna's
Maya,
Maya. Na?
listen, you said you came to learn something, right? Krishna said, Maya, I am the controller of that Maya. Maya is my servant. Okay? She's not your servant. She's Krishna's servant. And in fact, you're the one who's being controlled by Maya. So you can just say, okay, Maya, you're my servant, and then meanwhile, she's just telling you what to do, you know? Now, if you want to make a mental adjustment and say what Maya is telling you to do, that actually I'm speaking through Maya to myself, right? If you want to be that crooked, you can do it. You can try to do it. But it's not very logical. It's not very philosophical. You'll just end up cheating yourself. So that means you're telling Maya as your servant to cheat you? Are you ordering Maya to cheat you and to put you in a suffering condition? Is that your instruction you're giving Maya? Are you telling Maya, please bewilder me and punish me? Is that your instruction?
We want to use Maya for the service of Krishna. Suppose if we can get a full authority and control over materialism or Maya, then we can go in spirituality
He
or
wants
spiritual
to
life.
control the Maya to use for Krishna. All the material.
Maya is already busy working for Krishna. She's fully engaged. She doesn't have 1 second left over for you to engage her. And even if you said, okay, 1 second, okay, you serve Krishna, she'll say, okay, anyway, I'm doing. Anyway, I'm also doing. It's like one devotee, he said he's doing meditation, right? And he was sitting there at the sunrise, and as he was meditating, he was telling the sun, rise, sun. Come up, son. And then he looked up, and the sun started coming up, and he started saying, yes, keep rising, keep rising. And he's taking full credit for that. Everyone's like, thank God he got up this morning. Right, so then he's going around, you know, did you guys thank me for bringing up the sun this morning? But this is what happens, it's kind of funny, right? But it's like if people say that they're Bhagavan. Right? Yes, we are Bhagavan. So you're making the sun rise and go down every day? You're getting old and broken bones and you can't see and you can't hear? What kind of Bhagavan is that? So it's just a nonsensical. Right? Everybody is the Dasi of Krishna. Gopis, cowherd boys, Mother Jashoda, all demigods, all living entity, everybody is Dasi to Krishna, including Maya. Durga is also Dasi, right? So all we are Krishna Nitya Das. So everything else is being controlled by Krishna. The only thing soul can do is desire. That's all. We are not the controller. If we desire to serve Krishna, He'll give intelligence and strength and opportunity to serve Him. If you desire Maya, then Krishna through Maya will steal your intelligence and your strength, but give you some type of opportunity for sinful life. Everything based on desire. An association will affect directly your desire. That was the purport of today. So if we continue to do our satsanga and maintain this bodily conception and bodily relationship, then by that desire, by that association, then you just stay in the Maya. If we do satsanga, sadhu sangha, and we hear about Krishna consciousness, then you come under Krishna direct control. Then you remember that you're a soul, Krishna Nitya Das. Then we'll engage in the Sanatan Dharma, Bhakti, and serve in Guru and Krishna Samsara. So association determines the desire and the strength of the desire. And based on the strength of that desire, we're getting the fulfillment of that desire, whether spiritually or materially, because Krishna is the witness and the judge of our desire and the strength of our desire, and just fulfilling that desire either directly or indirectly through Maya. All right? Does that clarify everything for now? All right, everybody. Thank you very, very much. I was just going to say some formal thing, but we got into a whole other topic today. We all need to hear this thing. When you come to Holy Dham, especially you come to the temple, it means to associate with devotees who are speaking on this topic. No other topic. No materialistic topic. You go to ISKCON, you go to the love feast, and everyone's sitting around, what business do you have? How do I make money? How you're making money? Who are you? Where are you investing? How much a Bitcoin are you buying? And what are you selling in the market? What grade is your children studying in, reading in? What will be their major? What will be their job, their future, their occupation? How much money will that bring? When to buy land, when to construct a new house, It's only all this type of talking. All related to bodily relations, not topic of the soul, and the need of the soul in this life and in the future life. This is a totally different association and totally different topics. So, yes, yeah. Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्णा। मेरा एक सवाल है सर, मैं पूछना ये
हरे
चाहता
कृष्णा।
हूँ। हरे कृष्णा।
हाँ, बोल।
पूछना ये चाहता हूँ, मैं इंग्लिश नहीं जानता, हिंदी बोलूँ। मैं भक्ति करना चाहता हूँ, लेकिन भक्ति का मार्ग को कैसे मैं प्रशस्त करूँ अपने को? मैं घर में उत्तम भक्ति कर सकता हूँ रह के, क्या ये ठीक रहेगा? जिसमें मेरे माता पिता भी खुश हों।
My watch is like,
या
stop.
हमारे पास में मथुरा वृंदावन श्री कृष्ण जन्म स्थान है,
10:30.
क्या वहाँ पर उचित रहेगा? या माता पिता के अलावा कहीं मैं अपनी स्वेच्छा से कहीं दूर
Plenty of time.
So Prabhu is asking that he wants to practice bhakti, spiritual life. So he wants to know what will be the best process, that whether he should stay in the house and practice spiritual life so his mother, father, they also can be happy, or he can go to some holy place and away from his family members and practice spiritual life, because he's saying he's living close to Mathura, Vrindavan. So what will be the best process of bhakti for him so that he can follow a spiritual life?
Prabhupada said the most important thing is association with Sadhu Guru Vaishnava. This is the root cause of bhakti. So we have to cultivate a desire to have this type of association, however, wherever it's available. So the main point is we cannot do without that Sangha, and now it's just a question of how and where and when does Krishna make that arrangement to have such association, such sadhu sangha. So sometimes, if you have strong desire, the Guru, Krishna may send them to you, where you're at. And sometimes Krishna may make you go to where the Gurus are. So either way, when Krishna makes that arrangement, Krishna will give you intelligence and faith to understand that is Krishna's arrangement. And once Krishna gives you that intelligence and faith, then you'll understand who's a guru, who's bona fide authorized guru from Krishna. Now it's question, how do you maximize association with bona fide guru as much as possible, so that you can get the benefit of hearing Shravanam from such empowered, authorized guru. Then anyway, Krishna will make it more and more available how to do it. So you have to take one step at a time and show some greediness, some eagerness, and you have to prioritize. If we're serious about spiritual life, we have to prioritize that association and hearing process as compared to any other thing. And then if we pass all of that tests and we show to Guru and Krishna that we're that serious, then gradually Krishna will give intelligence and opportunity how to get more and more association and hearing and seva from that Guru. So when I first met my Guru, I was married man, I had one child. And I asked Gurudev, what does Krishna want me to do? And he said, you come to Bhubaneswar. And that's where my Gurudev was staying. and you just come and hear Srimad Bhagavatam, Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya, and just hear every day that Bhagavatam from me. So I just went there alone for 7 months, and wife had brand new baby, young child, and I just ran to Bhubaneswar, and I said, if Krishna wants me to do like this, then anyway he'll make some arrangement how you can just stay for some time. He gave enough money just to let me go for 7 months. Then I just hearing and chanting for 7 months as much as possible. And then later I went and I got my family and I brought them back to Bhubaneswar because I wanted them also to hear from Gurudev, and I wanted them also to be benefited. So first we have to get benefited and develop some qualification and faith and realization, experience. Otherwise, what are you bringing back to your family? So first you have to strengthen yourself. Now if you're in a position where your family can also be with you, come with you, and maximize hearing and chanting in association with spiritual master, this is best case scenario. But because I was coming from America and I didn't have very much money, I couldn't immediately bring my family. So I felt, okay, let me just go ahead first, get some spiritual experience, realization, faith, and then also find some place, some apartment, some way where I'll bring my family. Then when Maharaj went on a traveling program to Europe, then I went back and I got my family and I brought them back to Bhubaneswar. And then we stayed there for a couple of years. So all of that can be arranged if your eagerness and your greediness and prioritizing that sangha, that association and hearing, if you do that, Krishna will arrange the rest of that. And then sometimes Gurudev would be there, and then sometimes he'll go for traveling for preaching. So he was coming and going. So I tried to maximize when I had his association. I tried to really listen and try to understand and apply his instruction. Then when he would travel for preaching and go out of India, then I said, okay, now time I have to practice. I have to put into practice what Gurudev was just trying to explain for this last couple of months or whatever that was. So it was like a nice, like when you go to university, they have the classroom, and then they have the practicum, right? So you're studying engineering and calculus and all advanced mathematics, right? And then they're putting you on a highway somewhere, or they're putting you in, depending on your type of engineering, they put you in the field, in the factory, on the street, in the airplane. Then you get a hands-on, now you have to apply it. So we get the philosophical, theological, instructions, advice, teaching, meaning, all the subtleties, nuances of that, and then you have to go live your life, follow the instruction of the Guru, general instruction, specific instruction, and then Guru and Krishna will show you, oh, this is what this means. Yes, the Gurudev was saying like that, now I'm in this situation. Now you get your own experience, how everything is working. And then you'll see what works and what doesn't work. What did you understand properly? and where are you misunderstanding? What is our faith? Is it real? Is it solid? Or are we still susceptible to doubts and speculation and weakness of the heart? You get to see everything for what it is. And we need to see that. We need to go through that. Because that will help us to mature and to get our own personal realization and experience. Otherwise, it just remains some kind of theoretical, class. That's not enough. Now you got to go apply it. And then when Gurudev would go, then I'm like, okay, now we have to practice it, keep it alive, stay engaged, try to get his mercy. And then we would always know when is Gurudev coming back. And then we would always try to prepare ourselves, extra specially, because we don't want to be in bad consciousness when Gurudev returned back there. So it was very interesting, like Gurudev would elevate your consciousness, then he would go away, and without Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya from Gurudev, you could just start to see like it's going down. Not so easy to keep it up. Now all of a sudden you're looking at the clock, you're looking at the calendar, oh, Gurudev's coming soon. All right, I got to chant more seriously, I have to be more strict, I have to be more determined. Then it starts to slowly start to come up. Yeah, then Gurudev coming. Yes, okay, I have to be prepared. Then Gurudev come, then he bring you back up. It's like this. So the whole idea is when he's traveling that it doesn't go so far down that you have to like start all over again. Somehow or other we have to become more matured, more experienced, that we can keep it up. He is at least steady and taking shelter of our instructions. And then we'll understand how we can get mercy in those instructions. That's why you have to make the general specific instructions your life and your soul. Because that's the only thing you can hang on to. That's the only connection to the mercy from the spiritual master. You can't just sit in the chair and say, oh, I need mercy. Okay, you need mercy? Go do what Gurudev asked you to do. Be sincere, be serious, do it consciously for the pleasure of your spiritual master, because you need mercy and blessing on you. Then very quickly you'll say, oh yes, I surrendered, I determined, I'm following, humble state of mind. Then you'll perceive reciprocation and mercy and strength and purification. All of those things will come to you. Then you can keep it steady so that when Gurudev comes back, you're not like starting all over again. And then sometimes devotees make a mistake. They say, oh, we don't have to do anything because Gurudev's coming. He's going to do everything. Sometimes we went to some place, isn't it? We went there, devotees were not prepared. They took no personal responsibility really, most of them. They're not serious. They're thinking, oh, Gurudev is going to do everything. Then we went there, we saw everybody consciousness, nobody taking it seriously. Then I said, okay, book me a ticket, I'm out of here. And I just took a flight the next day or week. And everyone was like, where's Gurudev going? He said he was going to preach here for a month, 2 months. Why is he gone? We weren't prepared. We didn't do the work. If you don't do the work, the Guru's not going to go and start all over again and take the whole burden on his own head. Oh, we don't have to do anything, you know. Gurudev will do everything. No. He may do a few times like that. Just till you get the point. Then it'll be like, okay, these people don't want to be serious. I have no business here. I have nothing to... The people are crying, begging us to go over there for preaching. Why waste my time here? Just get me a ticket. And people thought I was joking. I was showing them my ticket was for 1 month later, right? I'm not bluffing you. My plan was to stay here for 1 month, right? So how after a few days, I'm like, okay, I'm out of here. Why Krishna pulling me out of there? So who was prepared? Then you have to maximize whatever time you have. I thought my Gurudev will be there for long, many, many years. And shockingly, he left after just a few years. But I don't regret, because I tried my best to hear from him properly. I didn't waste my time. I took it very, very seriously. And whatever I'm speaking now, from 1996, right? What's this, like almost 30 years? Right? In 2 years it'll be like 30 years? 30 years ago, I was sitting listening to my Gurudev like you're listening to me. 30 years ago. And I hear him when I'm preaching like it was yesterday. I don't feel separated from my Guru. I'm not like trying to remember back 30 years ago. No, I just do my seva. I try to depend on Gurudev and try to please him. I feel his presence. He's helping me right now. Then you understand the importance of that seva. Who knows when Krishna will take the Guru? I thought we were preparing big world tour and we're going to go here and we're going to go there, and we had everything planned. I met Gurudev 1992. Gurudev left his body early 1996. So less than three and a half years. And out of that 3.5 years, half of that time he was traveling. Right? So basically you could say out of 3.5 years, how many months is that? 60... Is it? Yeah, like 4.5 years, right? Or say 3.5 years.
42 months total.
42.
And 21, half of that.
So what's the total?
21 months.
Completely?
Yes.
21 months? Is it?
Yes. 42 months total, half of that.
Oh, so you jumped ahead. I was going to say only half of that time. Right? So half of that time I associated. So basically you could say like, say 25 months. Right? Or it's 20 months. So I'm running on 20 months of hearing from my Guru 30 years later. Think about that. So, what is the quality of your hearing? What are you remembering? That's up to you to figure out. So to say, oh yeah, Gurudev will be here a long time and we don't have to do anything. We just show up, plop our body down there, and Gurudev's gonna clean it all out for us. I'm telling devotees I'm basically like a stool shoveler, you know? when you go into the cow shed, right? You just get a bucket, you get a shovel. Right? Of course, that stool is pure. So maybe it's not exactly the right analogy. Let's say something like dog stool. That's more like it. So I go around, I just have like a bucket and a shovel. I just go behind you. And I'm just shoveling it. It's not a very glorious, glamorous position, actually. A thankless task. Because while you're just trying to shovel it away, right, they're saying, oh, you know, criticizing, finding fault, oh, he's like this, that, you know. Why is Gurudev always sick? That's one I get a lot, right? I said, I wasn't sick before I met all of you. Yes. Does he like that answer?
He's saying, okay.
Huh?
Okay. He's saying, okay.
Okay. That means Krishna convinced you. Well, we'll take even okay. And the Bhagavatam, it says when the Guru gives instruction, you should say, yes, sir. Like a military, yes, sir. I will execute. Devaki like joking me. I tell him, he says, yes, sir. And then I leave and he just does whatever he wants to do. In the past. He's a new man now. His wife will tell me if it's true or not. Time will show. Anybody else? Yes.
Hare Krishna.
You guys are making me work today.
आप लोग मुझे
Huh?
आज मेहनत करवा रहे
I
हैं.
was just going to say thank you for coming and here's some sweet and chant Hare Krishna and be happy.
Hare Krishna, Srila Gurudev. So I was thinking about this point that spiritual master's instructions is not different from the spiritual master.
Yes.
And-
Prabhupada says that.
Yeah. And I was trying to understand this point, and I was chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, and I was understanding that this instruction of this Hare Krishna Mahamantra is instructions from a spiritual master. So
Yeah.
this is not different from a spiritual master. So how can I get this experience of how is it not different from a spiritual master? And I was trying to pray to Krishna, how can I get association of spiritual master by chanting this holy name? And I was chanting like this, and slowly, gradually, I see I'm becoming more and more purified, and my consciousness is changing, and my desire starts to change from material to spiritual. And I could understand that I only got this experience only and only when I heard from you nicely. That's the only time when this desire changed inside of me. Yeah. So I noticed that this change only possible when I nicely heard from you. So I could understand, realize how, and I tried to associate with the process of chanting holy name, and got this association. So I could feel that experience, that how this is changing my desire. And slowly, gradually, the points you're mentioning about this, you're praying to Gopal, and Gurudev told you that you go to Gopal and ask for this benediction. This same exact incident started to come into my mind, and I was thinking to ask this question more deeper, like how do we deserve this more? And then you started to explain, basically you have to purify yourself, and the Hare Krishna Mahamantra is purifying the whole atmosphere. So I had this question and this like also, but now I'm slowly gradually not getting so much of this experience, and it's like not able to get that much. So how can I just also get it
You
more?
need to be greedy for that association. You have to prioritize that association, because that experience will come more and more the more we associate and hear properly. Because that will purify our consciousness, And then with more elevated consciousness, we'll be able to perceive and understand how Krishna is doing, how he's controlling everything. You'll have more purified intelligence and senses, where you'll be able to perceive those spiritual, mystical type of revelation. So it's not that it's not there, it's just we're not qualifying ourselves enough to see it. So now if you become really greedy that I have to have it, that spiritual greed then will give you that association and also the ability to hear properly in that association. Then you get the benefit and effect of that hearing process. And this will purify your senses. And then you'll be able to understand more and more. You'll be able to recognize it, understand how Krishna is manifesting and speaking and helping us every step of the way. Why should it be just once in a while? Why should it not be every moment? So that shortcoming is not from Krishna's side, because he's controlling everything already. It's how much are we realizing it? Then that's a question of how much qualified are we becoming to be able to be in the right consciousness to recognize it and to hear it and to be able to perceive it. Otherwise it all remains hidden. So Krishna says, if you sincerely come in the mood of bhakti, then I'll reveal myself more and more to you. But if you're not coming in that mood, and not serious, not cooperating, then I'll see you're not that serious, or you're trying to cheat the system. Then I'll just block myself, I'll hide myself from you. So Krishna hides himself. And Krishna devotee also hides himself. We also need the mercy from Sadhu Guru Vaishnava. If we approach them in the right mood, with the right understanding, and we get their mercy, then we'll recognize them. We'll recognize how Krishna is using them and manifesting through them to answer all of our questions and destroy all of our doubts. Prabhupada said two mercies: mercy of Krishna, mercy of Guru, Shri Guru. That's required. So now, what do we have to do to get that mercy? That's up to us. That means we have to also desire to become qualified to get that mercy. Not oh, I already surrendered, where's the mercy? You're not cooperating, not follow instruction, then you just remain on mental, sentimental platform. Then all you know is the suffering on this platform. Gurudev used to talk about the ocean, right? The Krishna, like, deep in the ocean. You have to take a deep dive, right? If you just stay up on the surface, all you get is fish and the crashing of the waves. So not going deep enough. And all the suffering, anxiety, this is on the mental, bodily, sentimental platform. That's why we're not happy, that's why we're disturbed, that's why we're not satisfied. Because that's platform of anxiety and suffering. So if we're in anxiety and suffering and fearful and not happy, that means we're not going deep enough. That should be an indicator to us. You're not deep enough. You're not serious enough. Then pick up your beads, be convinced, convince Krishna, and then Krishna will see, is this serious or not? If you're convinced and you convince Krishna, immediately, by his mercy, everything can be adjusted. That's up to us. But without Gurudev, how you'll have faith in all of that? It's written everywhere in the book, but how you'll get faith in it, how you'll understand it and be able to put faith in it. The Guru has to share his faith and his realization and experience. And if it's real, if it's genuine, then that will give you some faith. Then with that faith, then you practice it. Then you see how is it working yourself. Get your own experience. Cultivate. Prabhupada calls it cultivation. It's not a light switch, yes or no. It's a question of cultivation. Purify, simplify, liberate. Not contaminate, degrade, and be in hell. Hellish consciousness. So when devotees are mental and sentimental and a false ego and all the mental platform, you're not chanting properly. It's very simple. It's not very difficult. This is purely an expression of somebody's false ego mental platform. It has nothing to do with the soul platform. And anything that you're saying, nothing is about the soul platform. So all I can say is you got to go deeper. You want to get free from anxiety and fear and disturbance and misunderstanding, go deeper. Take shelter of holy name. And then Krishna, very kind, holy name is even more kind. They'll help us how to overcome everything. Alright? I hope that's helpful to everybody. I appreciate it. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to preach. I'm preaching to myself. I need to hear this. And my Gurudev becomes very happy with me. And if he's happy with me and praying for me, then I feel safe, I feel protected, I feel shelter. And when I hear how Guru and Krishna are helping you, it gives me faith. Otherwise, how you can have any positive spiritual faith building experience if Guru and Krishna are not behind it? If nobody having any results, then how's it like this? Then what am I doing? Maybe get somebody else. So as long as people get faith and they're getting their own realization and their own experience, then I'll just keep doing. If some Nitya Siddha, Premi Bhakta, Mahabhagavata descends from Goloka Vrindavan, like the real Goloka Vrindavan, I'll let you know. Thank you, everybody. Shri Gauranitai ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Srila Gaur Govinda Swami, Srila Gurudeva ki, Samaveda Bhakta Binda ki, Gaur Premananda.
Shri Gurudev ki.
Do we have some sweets? Very good.